Hmm. All right. Hello. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Come on in. Let's get the party started. All right. So listen, we are live on the air right now, and we're going to have an open forum where we're going to be discussing current events. There are a lot of things that are going on, and I did not want to. I just listen. I didn't want to narrow it down to one subject because, to be honest with you, hi, welcome in, welcome in. So, I'm going to give a shout out to the people who have come in from the mailing list, but I'm going to allow you all a few more moments to come on in. If you're not on the mailing list, you've got to go to TonyaTKO.com and click on subscribe. I do send out messages to people for when I am going live or when I'm having a sale or when something is up you need to know about, right? So Jerry's saying, oh my God, I've been missing your lives, which means that you're not on my mailing list. You need to get on the mailing list, right? So welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Tonight, I'm going to turn on the phone lines. I'm just going to listen. There's a lot of things going on. I didn't want to talk about the stuff that I just didn't want to make a video about Cardi B. I didn't want to make a video about, I want to and I don't want to at the same time. I think that for a lot of us, we see content creators in front of the camera and we sit down and we receive the entertainment. But we don't really consider that, there's a human being behind the entertainment. There's a person who has to edit the video, record the video, create the clips and all that other stuff. It's like it's very easy to just sit back and have a passive relationship, with your content creator. But I don't know, I've been kind of in a state lately, and I haven't been wanting to record videos. I haven't been wanting to edit videos. I haven't been wanting to do any of that stuff. I don't know. The pandemic is getting to me. All of the stuff that's going on out there in the news cycle is getting to me. There is no topic as the title of the video suggests. It's just an open forum. I'm going to open up the phone lines and we're going to be talking about current events. There are a few different things that are going on that we can open up the floor to discuss. First of all, Ruth Bader Ginsburg just died. And if you know anything about RBG, you know that if she could have held on, she would have. So I can't even be mad because she probably could have died many times before, and her power and will to come back, you know, it made her last as long as she did, which have gotten us into the home stretch where Congress may be able to delay an appointment of a new Supreme Court justice. If anything, I hope that this is a shock for people to wake up and realize that stuff is serious out here. Stuff is serious out here. Um, Someone just mentioned something about upcoming food shortages. You're not the first person to say this to me. You're not the first person to say this. I've been hearing about food shortages for, I'd say maybe about a few weeks now. She died January 21st per CNN. What? 2019 or 2021? Hey, Pinky. Hey, everyone. All right, so let me do the roll call for who came over here because you got the message from the mailing list. Put up the number 1, and the first 10 to 20 people, I'll give you a shout out live on the air. So if you're not on the mailing list, make sure that you go and get on the mailing list if you are a platinum level subscriber. So we got Cooking with Yolanda, Nubian, PJ. Let's see, we have Lord Venus, we got B. Stephanie, Sassandra, Felicia, Harajuku, we got Pinky, Kefra, Angie B, Jerry Jr., Empress of Love. Welcome in. Thank you for supporting my mailing list. Right? Thank you for supporting the mailing list and thank you for joining on there. So if you're a platinum level subscriber, you have the phone number that you need to text into in order, and I'll call you back. That way you get to the top of the list when I have the next opening. So if you are a platinum member, if you're not a platinum member and you want to figure out how to be able to support the show in a way that, I mean, if you have an additional, few dollars a month, you can go to TonyaTKO.com, click on support, and that will take you to a page where you can contribute monthly automatically. It'll just be deducted from your checking account or debit card. And that way, you know that you're contributing to a content creator that you love and assisting me in continuing to make content. When you join on the platinum level, you do get a special phone number to text me so that while we're on the air, you don't have to fight with the other callers. I'll call you back in the order that the platinum texts were received. Okay, so who did I leave out? We got Mary Mag from the mailing list, D. Richards, we got Beatty, Jamaica Hayes, KW, we got Mania. I'm sorry, that's the best I can do. We got J. Ray, Tori V. All right, so thank you. All right, thumbs up the video. When I do the call out for you all to get your shout out, make sure that you get those in early because I only read like the first 10 or 20 of them. I'm going to open up the phone lines right now so we can talk about Ruth, we can talk about WAP. I need a vacation. I'm not getting on any airplanes right now. What's wrong with you? Vacation. We are still in a pandemic. What's wrong with, you know what? It's like you look on Instagram and it doesn't look like people are they just got tired of the pandemic. They out at birthday parties popping champagne. I don't need to discuss Cardi, but I don't need to discuss Cardi tonight, but I probably will do a separate video about Cardi. My energy is a little bit low right now. I say on a scale of 1 to 10, my energy is probably about a 6. So let's listen. If you got some effery, don't call in with the effery because, my filter is at a 6 as well. Okay, so Mania's been to the beach in Florida. You keep going right on ahead. Yeah, it's just, I don't know what's going on out there. People are just like tired of the pandemic. They're going out, they popping bottles, they dancing up on one another, they going to the pool parties and all this, that, and the other. And you know what? It is what it is. I'm not that reckless. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that reckless. All right. So all right. The phone lines are open. I'm just going to connect the rest of the system. Yeah, but it's like, you know what? When we have incompetent people in charge, it's hard to really you be the responsible one. You know what I mean? It's hard for you to be the responsible one when you have reckless, irresponsible people in charge. And it's like, this is just persisting for too long. This shouldn't have gone over so long. What are some other relevant topics? There was a preacher who killed his wife. Some people are saying that she was pregnant by someone else and all this other stuff, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. But I do know, this is my book right here, Book of Affirmation, Self-Love. It is available on Amazon. Right now, this book helps rewrite your subconscious programming and reattune you to self-love. Phone lines are open, 323-488-3149. So yeah, they're saying that this preacher killed his wife because she was, have you all not heard of that story? There were people who wrote to me in tears about the situation. And I'm like, we as women, we have to take death threats seriously. Oh, we got Andrew Gillum and him coming out saying he's bisexual. Someone is saying, no, she was trying to leave him. I don't know, because the video that I saw, her brother had him in the chokehold and she was grabbing her brother and telling him to let go of her. So okay, so see, I should have done the story because some of you never heard of it. So maybe I will do it, but like I said, I've been in a state lately. I've just been in a state. Like I haven't really been feeling like making videos. Right? Is there something wrong with the phone line? Because I'm not seeing any of the calls coming through. So Attorney General hiding in the covers and the sheets. Oh no, Andrew Gillum. Okay, I thought you were talking about Attorney General Barr and his comments about Black Lives Matter. So we kind of have an open forum. It's really up to you, whatever it is that you want to call in and discuss. So Lord is saying she really didn't want to leave. They had to force her. I heard the people in the house saying, I think her name was like Tonya or something like that, or Toya, something. They were like, it's not funny. Stop laughing. And I was like, this isn't funny. All right, phone lines are open. You're on the air. What's your name?
Hi, Tonya. This is Sandra. How are you?
Hey, Sandra, how are you?
So it's Sandra.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought you were saying this is Sandra. Okay, but okay. So Sandra. Go for it,
Yeah. So
Sandra.
I'm the one that told you should take a vacation.
Oh, you're trying to get me to
Put
go on
on
some
your
planes?
no. Put on your mask guard and face guard. Go someplace nice and relax.
I had the opportunity to get on a plane this week and I couldn't do it.
Okay. So is fear holding you back?
No, more like intuition.
Okay. Okay. That's a good answer.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I listen to my intuition. I just recently started traveling. And I've been a few different places, but I've gone by car. And when it was time for me to go, I felt no reservation. I decided to go. But when it was time for me to get on a plane this week, I started having anxiety. And I think that it's important that we listen to our intuition, what our intuition is telling us. And my intuition is telling me that I need to keep my happy biscuits still. You know what I'm saying? That's what my intuition is telling me.
No, I definitely feel you. Unfortunately, we may want to operate in safety, but other people around us have to prove that things aren't real. And so we can end up putting ourselves in danger. So I do understand that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, I actually called just to see if your phone if the call would go through, and it did. I don't have any topic, but or anything I want to ask about. But I do want you to know I have been listening to you, and I just want to say thank you for being that voice for us women, because you have really rallied around us, been very expressful, and have always been on point. But I think that may be what's like kind of making you low, because you just like have put so much out there that it can be draining.
Yeah, well, you know what? I think we go through our ups and we go through our downs, and I think that for far too many of us, we don't like uncomfortable feelings. We don't like to feel uncomfortable. We don't like to not feel the feelings and the emotions that we consider okay. It's like we
Hmm.
consider these set of emotions okay and these set of emotions bad. So if we feel these, we're okay, and if we don't, then we have all of these judgments about how it is that we're feeling. But you know what? I think that when it comes to, so anger is a necessary emotion. Sadness
I
is a
agree.
necessary emotion. It's like we feel these things, they come, they go. I think when it becomes pathological, when it becomes something that is not going away, I think it's then time that we start looking into getting psychological assistance. And I think you know what, and I think something that leads us quicker towards the need for psychological assistance is when we do deny our feelings and our emotions.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And so, yeah, so I think it's important to forgive ourselves, to create space for us to be able to feel how it is that we choose to feel in that moment with no judgment. There's so many of us out there who are denying ourselves sleep when we want to go to sleep, or to get up when we want to get up. The pandemic has opened up a lot of these divots in our lives, and it's been a blessing for a lot of people, to be able to get back on track, and in terms of catching up on sleep, in terms of the go 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 go, being in the business of busyness, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but what current events have you had a thought or a feeling about recently?
Oh goodness. Well, being at home, there is so much information that I'm constantly taking in,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's on on news, or listening to any other people that are involved that I follow, like you. There's always this constant information, and that's being you know pushed at me. So I don't really have anything special that I'd like to talk about. I know for me, though, I have found that being still and quiet is something that I am focused more on, because I was one of those people always running to and fro, had to do this and be involved in that, and then having to abruptly stop and try to adjust to doing nothing,
Mm-hmm.
and actually sleeping for about 2 weeks straight, even though
Mm.
I was supposed to have been working from home. I had to get out of that funk. And I found for me that being silent in a purposeful manner
Mm-hmm.
helped me to strengthen on the inside, because it's so easy to lose it out here. We see other people losing it for various reasons. So the key was to um, tell myself it was okay to feel a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
because we all go through these changes, and we have to acknowledge it,
Mm-hmm.
but then allow it to just happen. But I found for me that being quiet and still was something that I hadn't done like in over 40 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was always very, very busy, and so this was like a godsend almost, because I didn't have a choice but to be still.
Got you, got you, got you. And you said my videos have provided a necessary voice. What do you mean by that?
Well, you have been talking about women and women's feelings and that woman, and there were certain things that really hit home for me, and it just made a lot of sense when you talk about women that hook up with guys that do not have enough money to take care of them, and women making those choices, and we not understanding how this does affect us later. I am an older woman. I've raised two children on my own, and it was really hard back then. And
Mm.
no one never sat down and told me those things. We just looked at what everyone else did, and you picked up and did the same thing too.
Yeah.
And so then you have like mothers and daughters, or, great grandmothers and grandmothers, and then mothers and daughters and their daughters following these same patterns, because
Mm.
no one took the time to say, hey, look, it can be done differently, you know. And
Mm.
so having you speak that, and then unfortunately see, I think people feel like you are not being fair, or, oh, I'm so in love with him anyway, and that's just the way things is, knowing that those patterns will continue even still, and it's a struggle.
But you know
It's
what?
a
I'm
definite
confused
struggle.
though. I'm confused. You say that that's just the way things were, but then, me saying that there's another way. I'm confused how those two points connect. because the way people were doing things before is it's gone through many different revolutions. So can you connect those two dots for me?
Well, I feel like we can see a pattern of wrongness, but if we don't know that it's wrong,
Like
we
what?
continue with it.
Give me an
Like
example.
what?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, like getting involved with someone that is unable to take care of you. The whole concept of going 50-50 into a relationship is something that I had never thought of or spoken with anyone when I was in a relationship. And when you had that conversation, like maybe a week or two, or maybe a month ago, I realized that what you were saying was absolutely real, that it makes sense that a woman should not have to be responsible to carry a child and work and school and study and or clean the house and all those things. But I've seen so many other women in my family do it. It just seemed like
Oh,
that's
okay,
what
got
you
you.
do,
Got you, got you, got you, got you, got you.
right?
Got
So
you.
if no one ever said that it could be done differently, how would you know? So being an older woman, and I'm like, yeah, I really wish someone had told me that 40 years ago, 30 years ago. It makes sense now, you know.
Got you.
So I appreciate that you are touching on topics like that. And
Got
I'm
you.
hoping that the younger women that hear you take heart and understand that what you are giving them is quality and advice that can really help them. You know,
Okay.
so I just want to say thank you.
Well, you know what? You're welcome. I'm really glad. I wish I wish that YouTube didn't have this algorithm that our videos are slaves to. You know, it's like
Mm,
my channel has gotten caught behind the underdraft of the algorithm where my reach just really isn't. I'm happy for the people who are able to come to my videos because I know that those who are meant to come to the videos will be at the videos. However, it's sad that I've gotten caught in the undertow of the current of the algorithm, and my videos just really aren't getting the reach that they should be getting. My channel has about 160. I just crossed 167,000, and I was at 166,000 for more than a year. So it took me more than a year to get 1,000 subscribers. And so they've made some
okay.
changes with the algorithm. And so more and more people are finding the videos. But like, this channel died, and then they changed the algorithm, and I started making videos back over here again because I have a new channel where I do the viral topics on, which is Tonya TKO TV. But this channel was
Hmm.
dead, so much so that the new channel where I had 2,000 subscribers was getting more views than the one where I had 166,000. And that's still the case because the way YouTube does it is whatever you've been getting, they only serve your video to those many people. And if people click out, or like this channel is 13 years old, and so of the 166,000, a lot of those people have grown up. They are different places in their lives. I mean, 13 years, we're talking about a person going from the age of 13 to 26, a person going from the age of 30 to 43. We're talking about an entire decade in a person's life. And
Hmm.
so YouTube has, I don't know. I'm really at a point where I'm really just I'm fed up, and I am disheartened by what's going on out here, because what they do is they penalize you and they force you. It's kind of like, if you can only imagine, where there's this reward system where they've begun rewarding people with money. So
Right.
now you get paid for making videos. So now people are not really making the videos that come from their heart. They're making videos that'll get clicks. And what is getting clicks is stuff that is fantastical, things that are not true, things
Mm,
that are,
right.
you know,
Nonsense stuff.
yeah, outlandish, like
Mm-hmm.
the pranks channel and the channels that focus on external beauty or those sorts of things. But when it comes to really diving in deep, it's if you didn't get on the upswing of the wave, I'd say maybe 5, 6 years ago, then you get caught in the undertow. Like there are people who start a channel, their stuff could be the most fantastic stuff ever created, but you go to their page and they have one view, two views. It's like a struggle to get
Mm-hmm.
16
Mm-hmm.
views on your videos. And it's just, YouTube just isn't the place that it was before. And then you realize that there are no two YouTubes that are the same. So you start watching these documentaries about what's going on online, and you realize that you are in a fucking, excuse my language, you're in a mill. You're in a fucking
Right.
mill. You're in a fucking entertainment mill where us content creators are the bitches who are being used and squoze to get people to come to the platform and churn them in this mill to keep them deadified, dead-eyed on the computers and on their phones, vapidly consumed in nonsensical videos.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons why I appreciate watching you, because you don't deal with stuff like that. I don't, I'm, even though I'm not busy, I don't want to be filled with nonsense. And I think
Yeah.
that the people that follow you feel the same way. And so we appreciate the fact that you focus on things that are real and things that make sense, and you're not trying to just make us tickle and laugh. It's because there's just too much going on out there that we need to really deal with what's important. So,
Yeah, and you
you
know
know,
what? Real estate, your mental real estate. It's like we are in a society where we allow a lot of things to take up space in our mental real estate, and it's
hmm
making us sicker, sadder, more unhappy, depressed, suicidal, forlorn, jealous, unhappy, feeling like imposters, all sorts of things. And so, and listen, I feel you and I understand. And with us having more time now, I look to content creators who can entertain me and educate me and give me food for thought as well. And there is a vacancy. It's like, how they have the whole chicken and the egg. What comes first, the chicken or the egg? It's like they keep people. That's why they used to call it the boob tube. I don't know if you're old enough to remember when they called
right.
it.
Yes, no, I am.
Okay, so it's like, it's like they want to make you into a boob. You just sit there and are in this hypnotized state with all types of stuff, planting flags and planting seeds inside of your mind. And it's a dangerous place that we're in right now. But yeah, so no, I totally feel it, especially when you have a lot of things to do and you really want something to play in the background. And this is why people who have gotten into podcasting is much more lucrative than video making, because people who go to podcasting want and have the time to be able to invest in the podcast. This video making is for the birds. I'm telling you, it's for the birds.
Well, when you did the podcasting, I was sharing your podcasting with a few people. I would listen to your podcast while I was walking because I didn't have to stare at a screen or read people's comments.
Right.
And I absolutely loved it.
You know what? Thank you for saying that, because I've had a podcast that I've been wanting to create for some time now, and I haven't done it, but I need to do it. It's just I'm in a strange place because, when I make a podcast and then people are like, "Oh, Tanya, we miss your face." And then it's like, I can't,
Mm.
it's like I can't be really good at both. There's just not enough time to be really really good at both. So I don't have the team to be able to be.
Right. We kind of want you to be in two places at one time, you know.
Yeah, and to master it. They say if you chase two
Hmm.
rabbits, you end up losing both of them. And so it's just a strange place to be in. I just watched The Social Dilemma last night. There's another one that people need to watch where it talks about the psyops. Can somebody remember what that documentary on Netflix where they talked about the advanced level psyops that are being used, psychological warfare being used on these social media platforms that are controlling elections in other places, like sophisticated stuff that's being used?
And that I'm not even aware of, so I couldn't even answer that
Well, you know
question.
what? Somebody out there knows it, so they'll put it in the comments. But Sasandra, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate you reaching out, and I'm gonna allow someone else to call in. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
All right.
Bye bye.
All right. So the phone lines are open. It's really it. I just got a cash app. Those always brighten my day. Hold on. Phone line is coming in. You're on the air, you're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name?
Hey, Tanya, can you hear me? It's Laurent.
Hey, LaRon, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm just driving. I just want to say this real quick because I'm getting ready to go to a delivery. I
Okay.
feel like, and this is not even to gas you, but you've been through the ups and downs of YouTube, and you have the personality. You taught me how to even talk. Hold on, make sure my system is down. You taught me to even how to like talk in videos when I do it. So I feel like as this algorithm changes, like I know a lot of your friends don't like when you talk on pop culture stuff, but it's like a game that I feel like this algorithm plays. And I know you told me before, like it's certain topics you don't even like to touch because you don't want to draw in those type of people. But I feel like your touch is unlike any other. So like I feel like, for example, like this whole Cardi B Offset thing. You always have a self-love way of talking about stuff. So I just feel like maybe you should just do what you feel as though that you should do from that type of standpoint. But I understand what you mean. You don't want to do stuff like that all the time. But I feel like your voice and your reasoning is something that's loved. And I think that people love to hear your take on things. So you just gotta play the
Yeah.
game.
Well, you know what? I appreciate you saying that, and that's what I attempt to do. That's what I hope that I am doing. However, I started feeling like I was a hamster on a wheel. It's like people's attention span are like fireflies. And it's
Right.
like, I mean, look, that Cardi B story came out. First it was cuties, then the preacher killed his wife, then Cardi B is divorcing, then some woman rescued some man from jail and then married him, and then now Ruth Bader Ginsburg is dead. And it's just like I felt like I was on a hamster wheel. I don't know. It's like it's you get accustomed to the money and be like, but YouTube is a labor of love because I don't make money on YouTube. I make money on Facebook. Facebook is the bread and butter right there. But then they
Mm-hmm.
push you towards making certain types of content. Like I made that video the other day, um, where we talked about men using women as receptacles for their sperm and just tossing them aside because the girls go out there looking for relationships. You remember that video? It was profound and profane, right?
Uh-huh.
And that video could not be monetized.
Wow.
And that video
Was it
got,
something that you said? You know what it was that caused it not to be monetized?
the thing is that they hold on, somebody telling me to get a regular job. You all, Deborah. Hold on, honey. I'm gonna roll up my sleeves and jump on you in a moment. But listen, please. So they penalize you, but they don't tell you what exactly it is that you're being penalized for, and then they push you. They reward you for certain types of content, and they penalize you for other
Mm-hmm.
types of content, like that video with the dog. that was barking and the man jumped on top of the car, that video is fully monetized, right? But you talk
Right.
about, loving your body, loving your womb, having self-respect, the video's not monetized. You know what I mean?
Mm. Do you think that's coupled with people like haters, like reporting it and stuff? I wonder how that impacts videos too.
You know,
But you know what I would say?
go
I think
ahead.
that you just go live, like how you doing now. Don't put the do it when you feel like it, but don't put all that effort into editing all your videos. If you want to talk about certain things, just go live and talk about it. But it's going to be certain things I know that you probably want to edit the video, but don't give that your energy. Everybody else is uploading live videos and getting thousands of views off talking about, but you have your spin on everything. And
Yeah, you know
I
what?
love,
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking, because I want to talk about that Cardi B thing, because I have my notes already created. I wrote down all of my notes, and it will be a good video, but it's true. It's like you're expected to edit and you're expected to have production, like way back in the days, like these white people was on it. Like, I forget the name of these doggone people who first came out, like Lonely Girl 15, and like these people, they were on it. They hired production teams right off the bat back in 2005. They were like, you know what? I know it's going to take a team, and they hired their teams. And you know what? There's race stuff involved as well, because Black women
yeah,
don't get viewed as often as I realized this when I was in the Dominican Republic. And my thumbnail, because so this was before, you could really choose the thumbnail. The thumbnail was of the doctor who was helping me with my sprained ankle, and she was a thin white appearance. She was a Caucasoid Latina. And the
mm-hmm.
video, just from her being in the thumbnail alone, got thousands more. It was like, I was like, what are people? I was like, why is this video? It was just a video of this woman wrapping my foot in a cast.
Right.
Anyway, I know you're driving and you got to do your delivery, so I'm gonna let you keep your
Yeah.
hustle going. So go ahead. It was nice of you to call
But I
in.
just feel like don't feel down. You got it. You know how to I'm not saying that the game you necessarily want to play, but you know how to play it. You have the personality. You know how to. You know what to do. But just do it your way. And don't put all that effort into editing all these videos. Go live and get your ish off. And if you feel like editing a video, then do it that way. If you don't, then don't.
Okay, let's see how that works out. Let's see how that works out. Okay, thank you.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right. All right. So, listen, let me jump on this person who told me to go get oh Lord, another call is coming in. Let me just pick up real quick. I'm going to come to you in just a moment, so just make sure your speakers are down and you're ready to go live on the air. So this woman who was talking about I need to get a real job, listen. Oh gosh, how do I put this? I'll say this, right? We have to be very careful not to allow ourselves to go down into a hole of despair. And attempting to work a job, a job, in order to get money is how you get on this hamster wheel, this rat race, where you are constantly running for some cheese, but you're exchanging your life hours for that cheese. You know what I'm saying? This is not a money issue. I have already told you all, I am doing very well. I have done very well. I have enough money, cash, liquid money, to not have to work for the next 5 years and still maintain my current lifestyle. Buy all the groceries that I need to buy, get everything that I buy, the clothes I want to buy, pay for my internet, my trailer, my car, all of that. For 5 years, I would maintain my organic groceries and all the baking and cooking I like to do, and the travel I like to live for 5 years without ever having to work within those 5 years. So I don't do this. I don't do this because I'm desperate for money. And so I'm like, oh, I'm desperate. I gotta get money, right? I feel that when people work, they should get paid. I create videos, and YouTube has created a predatory culture where we are in this mill, where the content creators are being used to bring people to the platform, yet the content creators are being abused by the very system that this platform is dependent on. YouTube tried to create content, but we are the bread and butter of YouTube. And I feel that we deserve protection. We deserve to be paid. It's not, listen, it's not about sitting down inside somebody's office or in some sort of what you consider a real job. If you knew what it is that you make in a day, in a week, in a month, and what some of these content creators are making per video, you would never open up your mouth to talk about what job is real or not. This is what I'm saying. They push people to make certain types of videos, and they push people with a certain type of look, and they promote those people who they themselves feel are beautiful based on their colorist standards of white supremacy. And then they push down, they dampen, they mattress the other people. And so this is what I'm talking about. So the solution is not for me to get my ass out there and jump onto some plantation. The solution is for the system to be fixed, for people to wake up that there is an algorithm and that people are being put through a mill. This is why I'm educating people. And listen, if there is anybody who has an issue with this wall behind me and the lack of coloration, send $50 to the Cash App, $Tonya TKO. Actually, you know what? For this, $100. Send $100, and I will make sure that by the time we come into the next video, that it is all good. And if not, then you can be quiet about it. Cause listen. All right, you are on the air live with Tonya. What's your name?
Hello, this is 123 Creations, Tonya. Can you hear me?
Hey, how are you? Yes.
I'm good, and I'm so glad that I called when I called, because I just heard you say someone told you to get a real job. Well, because they told you, that was on point with what I was going to talk about. And because they told you that, not only did I Cash App you $10 earlier, I just Cash Apped you $50, because this is your real goddamn job, and I appreciate you, and you are a great woman, and they can lick my ass. How about that?
Oh my, you taking analingus now from the audience? You hear that?
Yeah, so well, that's what I have to say about that. A real job? Like, that's crazy. See, this is what I wanted to talk about. Excuse my language, by the way. That wasn't very feminine of me, but I just had to say that.
Women love analingus, so.
So, I it's funny that a woman would actually say that to you, because it goes with what I wanted to discuss. And pardon the sound in the background, I just got off of my fake job, my 11 to 7 slavery job. So pardon the noise.
Okay.
But being in a masculine position doing security, but pardon me, I'm sorry. So I have a lot of masculine energy going on right now.
I feel you.
I just wanted to say, about, I feel like that a lot of the issue is, not only do a lot of men not respect femininity in women, but women don't respect femininity in women, So we're so used to this masculine or patriarchal society that when even a woman gets in any kind of vicinity of a feminine woman, it's like, you're lazy, you're a bum, you need a real job, So, it's like women talk all this shit about women, but about men, but they don't even respect a feminine woman. Oh, they respect the snuffleupagus fake eyelashes, the 22-inch weave. They respect that. That's about as feminine as you're gonna get. But the real essence of a feminine woman, women don't respect that shit.
Oh wow.
They don't. Like I said, the snuffleupagus eyelashes from Sesame Street. oh, you know, you're a bad chick with that. But if you really want to rest in your femininity, they wouldn't know what to do with that. You know, they might even have a man, but really they have a lot of conflict with their man because they're too busy sword fighting because both of them got dicks and trying to see which one is bigger.
Oh my.
You know what I mean?
Well, you know
So,
what? I wonder though, because you said they don't respect it, but
no, they don't,
I wonder
because you
if
need a
it's,
real job. Remember?
no, I wonder if it's that they don't respect it or that there's a bit of jealousy, a bit of envy, maybe being triggered in a certain way. Maybe there's not respecting themselves, you know, because
Yeah.
you know when it's something, listen, you know how when you're walking with a person, they lose money while you're walking with them and they want you to split it with them. They find money when they're walking with you and they don't want to split the money that they found with you. So it's like
Right. Right.
so it's like people have this thing when they find a good thing that they want to keep to themselves, they're not trying to share it. But the moment that they
Right.
get addicted to crack cocaine, you know, then all of a sudden they try to tell other people how to use crack cocaine, and
Right.
when they have no good men, they try to tell you to leave your man and all this other stuff. So I don't think it's that they don't respect it. I think it's that they have this feeling on the inside where they want people to join their pity party,
Right.
their mayhem of misery. They want people to join
Right.
in because there's nobody. Listen, I have, listen, because you all know, I mean, you've seen me. I went over to Puerto Rico to help after the
Right.
hurricane. I did a top secret job with children at the border, and I didn't talk about it. I still can't. The NDA that I signed, I cannot talk about it. I wasn't even supposed to say that much. But there are times where I go out of my environment and I go into another environment and I work underneath, you know, the supervision and the management of other people for a
Right.
passion project of mine. There are times that I do that. And so there's nobody out there who is working a 9 to 5 job who can really say that the majority of people who work 9 to 5s are truly happy doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And for me, if I didn't have the type of situation I have, you know, where because of me growing up in the foster care system and group home system, I have special housing. So my rent is very cheap because of that. It's not Section 8 or anything like that. It's a special program. So because of that, my rent is very cheap, children or anything. So I encounter these type of women and men who are generally miserable. And I just and I have to remind myself, not everybody is living the way I'm living. Not everybody is paying the super cheap rent. Not everybody can keep, 70% of their check.
Yeah.
You know, most people are miserable and all they can do is buy some snuffleupagus eyelashes or some synthetic 22-inch weave, because that's their only sense of self and sense of something, because that's all they have. And they probably got that on debt,
Yeah.
racking up credit card debt. How many people can say, like you said, can have an emergency fund, can, travel or, have some type of savings? I have no debt. Most people can't say that, and so I had to really think about that to myself when I encounter different personalities and attitudes and, and things like that. So I have to remind myself of that, because I'm just like, oh, okay, this, that them eyelashes is all you have, so it's like,
why you keep
you're
talking
really
about
mad
these
right now.
snuffleupagus eyelashes?
I'm sorry, these damn eyelashes get on my nerves. It's like, really?
Oh,
But
goodness.
that's what guys like. I'm like, wow. That's what they think guys like anyway. I mean, and, I think that's why I love listening to you, because there's more to femininity than what is being promoted. Even on YouTube, when you hear these YouTube channels and about femininity and things like that, it's always some superficial bullshit,
Yeah.
It's nothing wrong with makeup and all that. I particularly don't really wear any makeup unless there's a special occasion, but nothing wrong with that. But that's not what femininity is. And I feel like that's the only thing that is really being talked about. Same thing with women calling themselves high value or high maintenance. It's always some superficial bullshit. No one is saying I'm high maintenance, I only eat grass-fed organic beef. It's, oh, I'm high maintenance, I need my weave done every 6 weeks. Like, really, bitch?
Listen. Well, I don't approve of calling women misogynistic slurs, but
I'm sorry, but it's just, it's just like, huh? Like, come on.
So listen, so let me ask you a question. So if that is not femininity, what do you feel femininity is?
I mean, that can be I actually don't even say that's even a outside representation because it's a over-exaggerated version. It's something that I feel was brought on by drag queens. What's being promoted now is the over-exaggeration of what is natural for a natural woman, I feel like femininity is a posture and a position of being well-rested, being creative, being relaxed, being soft. Something that I'm working on myself. Like I said, I do security. I work 6 days a week. And that only because I'm saving and, I live by myself. So I operate a lot in my masculine. And it's something I'm trying to find balance in, but it's hard. But it's a woman that can be creative. Yes. What you're doing. You have the option. You've made it your life, so you have the option to do YouTube if you choose to, or a podcast.
Yes.
You're not crammed and forced into a 9 to 5 where you might be getting sexually harassed at work, where you're exposed to the negative energy of the world. Yeah. And that's something that I am working on, because if I ever get in a relationship, I have someone who's interested in me now, interested in marriage, and I'm just like, oh, we have a lot to talk about, but I want to be covered in the sense of I don't even want to have to go outside if I don't want to.
Okay. Yeah.
And have to deal with certain things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because even at my job, like I said, being sexually harassed, being disrespected,
Yeah.
and we as women are receivers, so even if we're strong, we still receive that energy from what's around us and what we're exposed to,
Yeah.
So I feel like a feminine woman, she's shielded from that, whether it's, if she has a man, her man helps to shield her from that energy and that negativity, or it's from what she has created by setting up her life where she doesn't have to deal with that, like what you're doing.
Yeah.
A dress, makeup and all that. That's garnish on the plate. That's cute. That's nice. But the meat and potatoes of femininity is what I just said.
Yeah, you know what? We're doing 10-minute phone calls tonight. Typically we do 5, but we are stretching it out to 10 minutes tonight. I wanted to add that I'm sorry, there's some people who I'm getting all of these messages in right now. Sorry, I had to swipe that off my screen.
No.
So listen, there are people, Callie is a platinum member subscriber. So you all trying to rush her off of the phone. It don't go down like that. So listen, people want to listen. I'm just going to let that fly by. But I'll say this.
Funny.
I'll say this. I
tell them to CashApp you and I'll get off the phone then.
I see you are riled up tonight. I'll say this. I watched another channel that talks about femininity, etc. Right?
Mhm.
And it made me really sad, honestly. It made me really sad because the channel was all about how do you get a guy's attention? How do you get a man's attention at the bar? How do you get him to,
Oh, yes, I
to
know what you're talking
how
about.
do you get him to approach you and all of this other stuff? And I'm like, gosh,
I ain't got time for that.
we spend so much time trying to figure out how to please men,
That's right.
and it's like I just I don't know.
When it's actually their job to try to please us because they're the initiators, you know. But
Yeah.
what's funny is even though women will come out with these videos of how to get a man's attention, they think they're actually feminine. It's like, no, we're the receivers. We receive them physically and every other way. So it's like, why are we going out of our nature to try to choose them or to try to, convince them to pick us, you know?
Yeah,
And
that's the sad
they
part.
coined the term, excuse me, sorry about that. They coined the term pick Misha, but it's like, well, that's really what you're doing. You're a high class or semi high class pick Misha, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you're really rested in your feminine, guess what? You don't have to try to get him to choose you. The one who wants you is going to. There's nothing you can do about it. But the one who's not going to choose
Yeah.
you isn't meant for you anyway. So why try to convince somebody that you're the one? I'm not going to convince you of anything. I want somebody who knows I'm the one. If you don't know that, well, good. Now get away from me. Thank you. Have a great day.
Yeah. You know what I see? What I see is so much of the emphasis on the men. It's just
Mm-hmm.
so much, and not enough emphasis really on yourself. It's like
Right.
you're spending so much time
Right.
obsessed about what these low vibrational creatures or low vibrating creatures want.
That's right.
I hate to put it
That's
that
right.
way, but it's like, people don't really understand the look, we need to just scratch the whole damn chalkboard off and just rip up all these pages and start from scratch because who is it
Right.
exactly that you're attempting to get to choose you? Some mother effer at a goddamn
Right.
bar? You don't know that
Right.
man. You don't really know
Right.
what it is that he has going for him. You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
We really need to be talking about what is it that you do to really, well, how is your life without a man attempting to have
That's
this
right.
person come save you? What
That's
is it?
right.
How do you get in the circles so that how do you get people to vet? Because just having strange men approach you, these men really need to be vetted. We need to let go of the days where we just, you know what? I'm a hush my doggone mouth. I'm a hush my mouth because no, because we have a lot of people out there, a lot of men who have not done the internal work. They are a walking bag of mess, and they are just bringing their, remember from what was this little show with the peanuts and that guy who had all the dust flying around him? Who
Mm-hmm.
what's that what's what was his name? He had all of this dust
I
flying
know what you're
all
talking
around
about.
him. Wherever he went, it was just dust. You could just see it, right? This is the situation that we're in right now. You have a lot of men who have not done the internal work to clean up their aura, to clean up.
Right.
They think having money makes them high value. Pigpen, yes,
Mm.
that's his name, Pigpen. So Pigpen had this flurry, this cloud. So it's like you have a lot of these men out here. They got baby mamas. They got the bill collectors calling them. They got all of the they got
Right.
they up at night with all types of anxieties and issues going on. They got psychological issues. They got untreated bipolar disorder. They got
Right.
they listen, they ain't been to a doctor to have their colon checked. They ain't had no irrigation. They not
Mm.
eating fruits. Their stomach is filled with all types of pig carcass, and they got all of this stuff flying all around them. They got mental disorders. They got abuse issues. They didn't punch paid up their last 3 girlfriends. They got all
Right.
they got student loans from a degree they never got. They got all of these things. Their feet smell.
Look, our 2 law degrees and didn't finish law school.
What? How does that work?
You remember the guy who did that? Who was talking about he's the prize now?
No.
You didn't hear you? I think you did a video. It was
I
a
didn't
black
do a
guy
video. I didn't do a video
who
about
said
him.
how he's the. Oh well, I
didn't.
saw a video. It's a black guy who said he's the prize because he graduated from law school. He graduated with like a 2.2 GPA, and how black women have to try to win him over now because he's so rare because he finished law school with 2 degrees. But then when it was time to pass the bar exam, he failed the bar exam.
Lord of mercy. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, so this is what we're up against. We're up against these men who are out here super feminized. They feel that they are the prize and that you have to work to, and it's like, it's like, lady, how much do you love your life enough to be able to do the things that you need to do to attract a man who is right for you, rather than, you know what? Listen, I'm going to let you jump off the line. We went over, but thank you so much.
Well, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, have a good night. We love you.
I love you too, Mama. Thank you for all of the love and support and the Cash Apps and being a platinum member and buying my books and always calling in and supporting and keeping it live in the comments. I really appreciate it. That really means a lot. Thank you.
You're welcome. Everybody else, Cash App, Tonya. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Have a great evening.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right. So the phone lines are open. So they got the enlarged prostate, they balls hanging down low with scraggly pieces of hair hanging off. They walking around with skid marks in their underwear. They don't really know how to take care of themselves. They got meat in their freezer with dried up blood on it for the past 6 months. They drinking aspartame. At night they got they got snoring issues, and they not getting their heart stopping in the middle of the night. They not getting the machine to take care of themselves. They not getting their teeth clean. They just walking around with all of this stuff going on. They don't go to, ask the average black man, when was the last time he went to the damn doctor? Ask him if he got his biannual teeth cleaning. Go ask him. You know what I'm saying? And then you see what he say. Ask him whether or not he's gotten a mental health checkup. It's like they going up there, they doing all types of pull-ups and push-ups. They're doing some damn sit-ups on the damn floor. But ask them whether or not they checked on their mental health. Yes, sleep apnea. How many of these? There's far too many doggone men out here with sleep apnea who not getting their machine to keep their heart beating all throughout the night. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's like you sitting there like, you can't be serious. You know, I'm like, you could take care of your damn self, but then they over there in they damn pointy shoes and pleated pants trying to approach you at the damn bar. Okay. All right. Let's just scratch pointy shoes and pleated pants. Scratch that from the record. But let's say they have on a fine outfit. Let's say they even dressed up in their damn suit. Okay, they dressed up in their suit and they got some beard balm on, but are their teeth even flossed? You know what I'm saying? It's like you sit down next to them and you smell their colorectal issues going on. It's like, listen, some of them have not defecated in weeks. Come on, let me tell you, this is what's going on out there. They got on these nice suits with the button that's a little tight around the front because they haven't defecated in weeks. So they got all of this pig pen stuff going on out there. It's like, listen, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot going on out there. No, I'm serious. People begging for help. I'm being very serious. I don't know about the breath issues, but I'm sure they're going on out there. If they're not flossing, what do you think it's gonna smell like? You know what I'm saying? It's like now these men are up here in their 40s and 50s. They don't have all of their teeth. Listen, I'm gonna be quiet. Next caller, save me from myself before I go off and say too much. But before I say too much. All right, phone lines are open 323-488-3149. Phone lines are open. All right, you're on the air with Tonya. Oh God, they got leaky gut syndrome. My Lord have mercy. Yes, you're on the air with Tonya. What's your name?
Deborah Mitchell, one that you said told you to get a real job.
Yeah, so I'm so glad. I said what I needed to say. I guess you calling in because you have some other stuff you need to say about it.
Yes. I've been a subscriber for probably like 8, 9 years. I don't know, but I didn't mean any ill intent by that because some other caller brought up you needing your vacation. So I was just throwing out something. I mean, I appreciate you not, you were explaining, or the way you want to lead your life, and the way you've led your life. And I completely understand. Me, myself, I'm a freelance graphic designer, freelance web designer, but yeah, I do also have a 9 to 5, and that's by design. So I'm not saying, and I have people in my family who are full-fledged entrepreneurs. So I'm not sitting here telling you that you need to go get a real job.
So let's rewind. What is your definition of a real job?
I never said, I'm looking at that. I never said get a real job. I said, to take a break, because you were saying, some other caller was saying you needed a vacation. So I was thinking in my head, a break. Because you said
you said take a break and get.
So I was just throwing out an idea. It wasn't anything to tell you that what you're doing is not a real legit source of income. I didn't mean it in any ill way at all.
Okay, so, but you said real job. Am I bugging? Did you not use the word real?
I didn't use real job. That's not even how I would never tell someone who's an entrepreneur.
Okay. So they're saying that you said regular jobs. Get a regular job.
Yeah, I said regular. I didn't say real. So what you're doing and what you've been doing is your life's path. You get monetized, you get money from it, everything. I'm not telling you to stop your life journey and get a real job. And I think when you kept saying real, that is a different connotation. That's me telling you what you're doing is not legit. And that's not where I was coming from at all.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. How do you feel that my life would be enhanced in a positive way by getting a quote unquote regular job? How do you think my life would be enhanced?
I'll answer the question. When you say enhanced, that's your definition. I'm basing on my experience. So my idea would be different than yours, but I was talking about a break. So like you said in your response, you said, hey, I don't need any money. I have money saved. I didn't know any of that information. That's something I'm learning today. So I'm thinking twofold from my perspective. I'm thinking, maybe get a part-time job and take a break from YouTube and come back. So I apologize for not knowing that beforehand. Otherwise, I would have never even thrown that out there.
So you said you've been watching me for 8 years, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, off and on. I'll be honest with you, off and on.
Okay. So you say that you've been watching me 8 years. So we're talking about 2012. In 2012, I had TKO skin, right? So you started watching me around the TKO skin time when I was in the loft with the packaging area and the product and all of that.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about, what do you consider a regular job? What is a regular job? What is that? The typical oppressive workplace, like a part-time job, a full-time job, the full-time job that I have right now. I'm trying to work my way out of it Did you say oppressive?
That's what I mean by regular job.
An oppressive job?
I've described a 9 to 5 as a regular job my entire life.
But you said oppressive.
Yeah, it's oppressive. But what I was throwing out because the caller has said, how about you take a vacation, assuming that you needed a vacation. So I just threw out another way you could take a break from YouTube. But that's based on my experience. It's not a directive. I don't have any control over your life.
So, but see,
I
and
just
so
threw
see,
it
this
out
is so
there,
this
and
is so this
you
is
told everyone I said real job.
no. I read your statement an hour ago when it came up. I read your statement. So whatever it is that I read is what I read out loud. The other people in the comments read it as well. By the time,
That's not true.
listen,
hold
on,
I never said real
Deborah,
job.
I don't want to have to put you on mute. I want us to be able to have a conversation. So if you need to take a few deep breaths, take a few deep breaths. So what I'm saying is I read your statement half hour, 45 minutes ago when it came up, right? And whatever it is that I read out is what your statement said. The people in the audience read it as well.
No.
So you know when you play the game telephone, hold on, please let me finish. When you play the game
That's
telephone,
incorrect.
you know, words can get switched or whatever based on a person's interpretation of the word, right? But the fact of the matter still remains. What it is that I said to the caller is that when a person finds something good, they don't try to promote that to other people to do as well. You said an oppressive job. A regular job is an oppressive job. So that you want me to go from creating videos where I'm already feeling that we're being taken advantage of into going into an oppressive job? How is going to an oppressive job going to help me? I want to know.
But that's my interpretation of the 9 to 5. I don't know how you view the 9 to 5. I call it oppressive. That's why I'm trying to get out of it. I don't know what the adjective is or what you would equate to a 9 to 5 or a part-time. I have no idea.
If you were watching me 8 years ago, then that means that you were watching me 4 years ago when I lived in my car. Because this dream that I have was greater than discounting it and sidetracking, so that I lived in my car for an entire year.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Okay. I don't believe in prostituting our time, in doing things that we do not want to do in exchange for money. That goes for YouTube. That goes for wherever. You know, YouTube, an oppressive job. So it's like you're calling up and you're in a huff. You're like, oh, you're saying something I didn't say, but you were not suggesting something good to me. You were suggesting something that you yourself don't even want. Why are you suggesting something to me you don't want? I'm living my dream. I have my book. My dream was to become an author. This is my book right here, the Book of Affirmation Self-Love. Have you bought my book in the whole 8 years that you've been watching me?
I bought your book. I bought it on Amazon. I bought TKO skin. That's why I'm not.
So you know what? Go grab your book right now, Deborah. Go grab your book. Go grab your book.
Now you're insulting me.
I'm not insulting. I'm asking you whether or not you got the book. So I'm saying go grab the book right now. Let's go through a page or two. Go grab the book.
I think, honestly, to be honest with you, I think you're insulting me right now. And I just wanted to call in. To let you know that
Deborah, don't be like that. Listen, Deborah.
But everyone in the comments.
Listen, hold on, Deborah. Deborah, don't be like that. Don't be like that. Because if you've been watching me for 8 years.
Call me out of my name. She should be ashamed of herself. I never called you or anyone in the chat out of their name.
I don't remember her calling you out of your name. I remember her talking about people with snuffleupagus eyelashes, calling them out, and then I corrected her on that. So listen, you know where she is? She's in the comments. So if you want to talk to her in the comments, you can talk to her in the comments. While you're on the phone with me, if you want to talk to me on the phone, you talk with me. So if you've been watching me for 8 years, then you don't have to think about whether or not I'm insulting you. Because I have an arsenal of words in English, Spanish, and in dialect that if I want to insult a person, I will insult them. I don't need to ask you to go get the book that you say that you've gotten. That's not an insult. That's us working together. So go grab your book. You said you have the book. Go grab it.
I do have it, but I have it probably in a lot of my like folder and files, to be honest with you. I don't have it readily available in front of me. But I definitely did purchase it. And I've purchased like podcasts and other products that you've released over the years. So I'm definitely not lying about that. I have purchased. Unfortunately, I don't have it. So I'll just have to be honest. I don't have it in front of me right now or accessible.
Okay.
Just being honest, I just have it so in front of me.
Well, you know what? I implore you, go into the folder. You're talking about a real folder, right? So you put this in a real folder. Or you're talking about a computer folder? Are you talking about a computer folder?
Store random, you know where you store like your medical records, all of that, because I recently moved, so I have it somewhere in there. And I even started working on it at that time. I just need to circle back to it. But literally, I only called in just to say that.
So which was one of your favorite affirmations from the book?
I don't know anything off my head. I need to go back to it. I bought it. I went through it. I didn't go through the entire book, and I can't think of anything off my head. I'm not going to make up something like I remember. I'm not going to do that. I'm just being honest with you. I don't recall, and I probably need to revisit it and everything. But yeah, so I'm not going to sit here and lie or anything and say that's what it is at this moment.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. The book is a powerful. The book is a powerful tool. The book is powerful. It completely changed my life. Being an author was my dream. That's how we got on this. Being an author, writing a book was my dream. And it took me living in my car and going through that journey to come up with the affirmations that are in this book. And this book is a powerful tool to help you rewrite your subconscious programming and attract the life that you desire. So with this book, with the affirmations from this book, I went from living in my car to having enough money in Bitcoin, stocks, savings, investment, and liquid cash, enough to be able to live for 5 years without ever having to make another video. I don't have to make videos, right? And I state this quite regularly in my videos because this is the book. This is the book that I went from living in my car to really living in a life full of abundance. You say you bought my MP3s as well. Which MP3 did you buy?
I think it was one to help you sleep. That one.
That's the one that's free. That's the one. If you all would like the free download, you could join my mailing list. You get the free download when you come over to my website. It's TonyaTKO.com. Go into the shop area. You can download the Relax MP3 for free. You just sign up on the mailing list, so everyone can get that for free, right? I feel like we've said all that we can say. I was very open with what it is that I said. Like when people find money on the ground, when they find a good thing, they want to try to keep it to themselves. When they lose money, they want to share it. So the thing that you said about a regular job, by your own admission, is you offering me something that you yourself find oppressive, that you have not seen me doing. When I do take time away from my passion to work, I do that at the assistance of other people, that I give of my time and my life hours because I'm assisting people who are in dire need. So look.
And that's completely fine, but there's no way I would have known like the way you just said it. I just threw it out there, just like the lady said with vacation. I'm not saying it's the exact equivalent in nature of it, but I was just a commenter, just throwing out, and then I felt like it spiraled.
It didn't spiral. It was over.
That was never my intent.
It was over. It's just like the news cycle. The comment went and it passed. The person
they were attacking me. I was being attacked. I was called a hater. That previous caller, it was completely unnecessary what she said about me.
Well,
I don't see why black women. I don't understand why black women are just women in general. Like,
you don't know
it's
the race
okay to have different opinions.
You don't know the race of the people in the comments. You don't know their race. But listen, this is I'm not really sure why you're feeling like a victim here. You
I'm not a. I am
you
not
sound
a
like
victim.
you sound like
I
somebody
just
has
thought
done
you can't
something
do a
to
job.
you.
I just wanted to call in to clarify. I never told you to quit what you're doing to get a real job. I never said that. I said regular.
An
And yes, I
oppressive.
do personally find it oppressive.
Yes.
But there has been times where I have had a job to kind of take my mind off things. I've done freelance full time. I've done a full-time job. I've done full-time job plus freelance. So
Yeah, but you know
I
what?
understand
But
the
let's hold
way.
on. Question, right? Because now we've been on for 15 minutes. Question, right?
Okay.
Of the people that you know, how many of them like their quote unquote regular job? Of the people you know, friends, family, loved ones, of the people you know in real life.
My dad and my boyfriend, they actually enjoy what they're doing because on their job, they're helping at-risk youth find really great internships that wouldn't normally have access to that. So they enjoy.
Right.
My boyfriend that, and my dad is works at the post office. He loves it. So
okay, so let me ask you this. So let me ask you this question.
Want to run away from it.
Right. So of the people that you know, there are two people that you know who you say love their jobs. One is working with people, helping them find internships, and one is working at the post office. You've been watching me, you say, for 8 years, and there are some basic fundamental things that I talk about all the time in my videos that would offset you ever thinking that I felt that a job was a feasible option. That's one. Two, how would a person take a break? I have never had a full-time job. I'm a lifetime entrepreneur. This is something that is stated in the About You section on my website. So I have never had a regular job. I've never had a full-time job. I have gone from creating one business after another until I closed my business to follow my dream, which was writing a book. And it took me down into the depths to be able to get the affirmations that I needed to say to create this book. But what I want to know is, how do you think, let me ask you a question. How do you think that I would go from being a content creator for 13 years into getting a job that would fulfill me and satisfy me with no experience? How long?
To be honest,
yes.
To be honest with you, Tonya, when you had TKO skin, I recall you saying that you did the art, creative part, like the graphic design. You had a graphic design background.
Yes.
That's what I had in my. I'm a graphic designer. I just had that in my head.
But you're a freelancer, so you do your freelance work. But then you said that you have a regular job, which is the oppressive job. You didn't say, "Oh, Tonya, freelance." It's something that you have experience in. You said, "Tonya, get a regular job."
I could have put that in there. I was typing fast, and whatever came to my mind. To be honest with you, I typed it. Of course, if I could go back, I would add freelance or whatever, but I wasn't.
Yeah, but you know what? Listen,
comment. A lot of people just comment, and so that's what I did.
Yes, but you know, but the thing
whatever
is,
came to my head,
you're making this live on. Now, what you have done is you've cemented yourself into history on this broadcast, so that now you're here in this moment, prolonging the exchange. It was over. You called in to prolong this exchange. And
actually I didn't. I tried to call in as soon as you read my comment, I tried to call in then. And so I was hoping it was like a quick, hey, I didn't mean anything by it, and that was it. That's literally what I was trying to do. I'm not trying to drag this on. I'm not a hater. I think it's wonderful what you're doing. That's why I've been following you for a long time. And I wasn't trying to say get a real job or none of that. I have no shady or ill intent by anything I said.
Yeah,
and I thought I could get in, but the call kept going on. So that's why it's been this long.
In the effort of keeping it real, I could keep it real with you, right, Deborah? I could keep it real with you, right?
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I
So
don't.
I'm
Yeah.
going to keep it real with you right now. You're somebody who claims that you've been watching me for 8 years, right? You claim you've been watching me for 8 years, right? And then you added in the on and off, right?
Yeah.
So when it
Yeah.
comes, so you have been at the receiving end of my content for 8 years. We're talking that by the time you get to 3 years, you've already had 1,000 days. So we're talking about 4, 5. How many thousands of days are there in 8 years? So you've been watching my videos, benefiting from my content for years. When I asked you whether or not you had invested $20 over 8 years in my book, you claim that you got the book, but when you claim that you got this book, you claim that it's someplace that you can't even put your hand on it. I asked you what was one of the
It's because
affirmations.
I recently moved.
Listen,
It's not because I was like, oh,
I
here's a book.
asked
Let me
you
talk to
which
this.
affirmation was your favorite from the book. Did you even look in this book that you claim that you've gotten?
See, that's the thing.
Have you?
I'm trying to say this without, I'm not trying to say your book is not important. I'm just saying I've gotten a lot of books and I read some
Okay.
pages and I put it aside. I don't go back to it for months. It's kind of
Okay.
like that. That's how I process books. I don't sit down and just read a book full on through, and that's my bad. That's my problem.
It's an
So I'm not
affirmations
saying
book.
it's insignificant. It's not insignificant.
Okay. But what I'm saying is, so let's disprove this. Let's disprove this. You say that you are not a hater. That's one of the things that kind of triggered you. You say you're not a hater, right? What is
Yeah,
your
I'm not sure.
what is your definition of a hater? What is your definition of a hater?
In the context, your viewers wrote in the comments.
No, I just want to know
that-
what is your definition of a hater?
Okay. Yeah, I'll answer the question. My definition of a hater is someone who's jealous of someone's success and they themselves are, they just aren't feeling fulfilled and they're not happy for the next person. Therefore, they wish ill on the person.
Okay, so
that's what my
let's explore that. Let's explore that. You suggested something oppressive for me to participate in self-oppression. This is what you suggested.
So I said oppressive to me.
And you suggested something that you yourself find oppressive. You suggested that for me, something that you don't even want.
But how was I supposed to know that you viewed it that way? I didn't know you viewed it that way.
This is your own view. You think that I don't know that jobs exist, that regular jobs exist out there. This is what you stated in your own view. You suggested something to me that you find oppressive. You suggested something to me that you don't even want. So when they say that you're a hater, by your own definition of what a hater is, you're suggesting something to me that is not even for your own benefit. You're suggesting something to me that will degrade my life, not enhance it.
How you're making an assumption that's what I'm intending for what I said. This is what you said. It's oppressive to me, but I can't speak for you. But it seems like you think that way towards it, like I think that way towards
I'm only repeating your own words. I have not stated my own.
About me.
No, about what you say a job is. You said a job is oppressive. You suggested something that yes or no, true or false. Did you suggest something to me that you find oppressive?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, you did. So you were not suggesting something to me that you yourself felt was a good thing. You were suggesting something to me that you yourself don't like and are trying to get out of because you find it oppressive. This is what you suggested to me.
To me, yes.
Right, exactly. So when people say that you're a hater, and by your own definition, a hater is someone who gives suggestions to people to bring down their life or whatever it is that you said. I didn't take notes, right?
I'm
You
not
suggested
trying to
that.
bring down your life. I don't even have the power to bring down your life.
But you're giving
That's not even
suggestions.
my MO. I don't go around trying to bring down black women's
Well, you know
lives.
what? So why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? The next time that you go to give somebody a suggestion, give them a suggestion for something that you feel is freeing, uplifting, something that has benefited your life and that you feel vibrates in the highest energy that you vibrate in. Suggest that for them, because
if I said, hey, Tonya, in the comments, hey, Tonya, why don't you just go freelance graphic design? That wouldn't offend you?
If you're suggesting something to me that you yourself love, listen. I designed my own website. I designed the stuff for TKO Skin. I love graphic design. I designed right, but you see, the thing that
job could be anything. You
know how men call in and they just don't get it. You're just not getting it. You suggested something to me that downgrades your own life. You suggested something to me that you find oppressive, and you don't get how that's an inappropriate suggestion for other people. Why are you suggesting something that you don't even like?
It's not. Some people in the comments may like their job. I'm not going to make assumptions that everyone in your comments.
You are giving the suggestion to a person who you have been watching make videos for 8 years. You think I don't know that there are jobs that exist out there?
I have not watched you consistently. I'm being honest. I have not watched you consistently.
But you have seen. What is it about me making videos on YouTube that makes you think that I don't know that there are 9 to 5 jobs out there? What makes you think that I don't know?
What about the caller who said you should go on vacation? You know, if you want to go on vacation, you know that's an option.
She's a person.
People throwing out there.
The person who made that suggestion likes vacations. You made a suggestion for something that you don't even like. That's where the hateration comes in, and I can see why people would think that is hate.
If I commented that and you thought it was terrible, I didn't see the warrant being called a hater. It was just it was a suggestion that you are adamantly against, and there's nothing wrong with that.
That ain't love right there. Suggesting something you don't like to another person, that ain't love, sister. I'm gonna tell you that much right there. That ain't love. But listen, thank you so much for calling in. We've been on the line for 27 minutes, half hour.
I'm unsubscribing because I've never been treated like this.
So now you've been treated some sort of way. How you been treated, victim?
And the people in the comments, except for you,
so you're saying you have never.
I appreciate
Listen, I had to put you on mute, baby. This ain't your show, and you. It's a privilege for you to be on my airwaves. So now all of a sudden you've jumped into your victim energy about how it is that you claim that you've been treated. You've been treated with the utmost respect. I have given you 30 minutes of my time out of my life on these airwaves that you chose to call in on, and you yourself, you're the one who set your own traps and jumped right into them. You have disproven your own self. The suggestion that you gave me wasn't a suggestion of love. That's not love right there. Suggesting something that you yourself don't like, that ain't love, baby. I'm going to take you off of mute. You can say whatever it is that you need to say, and we're going to let you go. You're back on the airs, Debbie. Oh, I guess the gal done gone. Listen, thank you so much for calling in. It's like, listen, talking about I've never been treated this way. How was that person treated? I thought that person was treated very nice. I thought I was fair to her. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name?
Deborah, who you said back on the line, Debbie. You said get back on the line, Debbie.
I didn't say get back on the line. I said you are on the line now. So you were. Now you've called back in so you can finish up saying whatever it is that you felt that you needed to say from your victim energy because you feel that you've been treated some sort of way.
So I'm going to say this. This is it. This is all I say about this. Number one, I didn't mean any ill intent. 2, I'm not a hater. And 3, I don't understand the vitriol in the comment section.
If you don't understand it, what you can do, because listen, I've had to put you back on mute again because people who call into my show, they know. If you want to talk to people in the comments, Get into the comments and talk to the people in the comments. If you want to talk to me on the line, you talk to me. But don't think that you're going to stand up here on the bully pulpit and try to call out people from the comments. You want to get in the comments, stay in the comments. You want to talk to me, then you talk to me. It's as simple as that. I didn't bring her back on the air because it sounded like she really wanted to be in the comments. So Deb, go back into the comments and confront the people that you want to confront in the comments. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Do that. But when you're on Tonya's line, you talk to Tonya about the stuff that's going on our phone line. No, there's a lot of people out there who just don't get it. And even if you spell it out to them in the smallest fragments, they still don't get it. If thongs cut my ass, I remember one time I had on these lace boy shorts and I went walking. I walked from Santa Monica Beach to downtown LA. I walked and it was a long walk, a couple of miles, and I had on these lace boy shorts and they tore up the inside of my ass, right? I'm going to bring you on air in just a moment, so just make sure your computer's turned down and you're ready to go on the air, right? I walked out. I don't know how many miles it was. Some of you can look on a map, but I walked from Santa Monica Beach to downtown Los Angeles. I had on these lace board shorts, and the lace and the friction of that 4-mile, 5-mile walk cut up the insides of my ass. You know how my skin is beautifully plain, one color everywhere. You all have seen my naked photo online. If you have not seen my naked photo, all you have to do is just Google Tonya TKO nude photo. I have a nude photo. My skin is a beautiful caramel color from head to toe everywhere. So these boy shorts, this tango, whatever it's called, the lace cut up the inside. I had scabs because I felt the pain as I was walking, but I was like, oh my God, it's cutting me up, right? And then I was going to get on a bus, but then I met this person who recognized me from the show, and then we went walking together, and while we were walking, I felt it cutting up inside there, and I was like, oh, good God almighty, right? And I kept trying to go into a little corner to try to pull it out, but the person was watching me, and I'm Tonya TKO, so I couldn't be there digging in my ass, right? So when I got back to the place that I was staying in downtown, I took those things off and my cheeks were raw in between, right? And then I grew scabs and the pain and all that stuff. And then my ass, for the amount of time that it took for this to heal, it was discolored in there. And I was very unhappy about that, right? Imagine me, if I see a person who is jogging and they're saying, oh, I'm having a really hard time jogging, this, that, and the other, this isn't what I thought it would be, this, that, and the other. And then I suggest to them that they go get some lace tangas to go 4-mile jogging in. Is that love? Is that, listen, I want to know, is that love? If I give a suggestion to somebody for something which has hurt me, that's all I'm asking. I want to know, is that love? If that is love, put up a number 2. If that ain't love, put up a number 3. I want to hear your I want to see your vote. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Lucy.
Hi, Lucy. How are you?
I'm pretty good today. How are you?
You heard my story. 2, is that love, or 3, is it not?
Oh, goodness. No comment.
I want to know, if I suggest lace tangas to someone already having a problem with jogging, is that love?
It's not.
So look, I don't know how big their ass is, because I'm carrying around a dunk back there. You all have seen my dancing videos. So I don't know what type of biscuits, what type of friction they'll have, but I know what it has done for my life. So I'm not going to suggest something that has caused me pain, tore up the insides of my ass, and discolored it for at least 6 months. That's not love. That's not love. I'm not going to say, well, I don't know whether or not it'll be good for your ass. I knew it wasn't good for mine. So why would I suggest that to somebody else? Anyway, Lucy, you're on the air live. Thank you for your vote. The votes are coming in. I don't see anybody saying that is love. It's only 3s. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, I just called in because, I honestly think you just need you some good dick.
know something? I actually had some really good penis lately. I have. That set my soul on
Okay,
fire.
that is,
Mhm.
girl, that is so good. Because I've been wanting to say, you know what? She's a nice looking lady. She's
Mhm.
very educated, very well mannered. I mean, just 10 stars. Like, I'm like, oh God, all she needs is some good land.
Yeah, but you know
That's just
what?
my honest
Yeah,
opinion.
but you know what? I think for far too many of us, we look for these outside pacifiers, and a lot of us try to pacify ourselves with penis. Oh my goodness, a mosquito was just biting me right on my leg. Oh,
Yeah, but I mean,
can't
in
sit
your case,
still out
you've got
here.
to me on outside looking, and I feel like you've got it all together. Like, I just feel like that would be the one great extra thing. You know, how you have the cherry on top of something.
Yeah, but you know what? And I think that for far too many of us, I think that we have to stop placing a greater amount of, because listen, good penis, it's more than just good penis, because good penis is just one thing, right? Penis comes attached to a person. You know what I mean? It comes attached
Yeah,
to a
but when
person.
I think good penis, I think good vibe, good romance, fun. You know, just that bubbly feeling. I feel like every woman, like at the end of the day, yeah, we can be educated, we can do all these great things, but there's nothing like having somebody that's on your level, somebody that you connect with, good dick. You know, got to throw that in there. But I just feel like, I feel like that's what we're here for. That's what we're on earth for, is to mate and to be in love and to feel that bubbly feeling and to romance each other and just the whole everything about love to
Well,
me,
you know what?
it's a part of life.
One of the most loving things that a person can do is really cultivate that love within themselves. And really not
Yes,
and not try to circumvent, because you know what? Listen, every woman doesn't want to have children. Every woman is not put here for children.
right.
But the one thing that we all do have in common is that we've come into this life with a soul that is at a different level of development.
Yes,
And when we talk about the purpose of life, there are different things that can help your soul ascend to another level. And the things that and whether or not, you're riding up and down on someone's penis may not be the thing that really assists your soul with ascending. What are your relationships like? What is your human connection like? What lessons have you learned in this life? How have you stretched outside of your comfort zone and really gotten to the next level? Because if we are just kind of rotating around down here talking about, well, what's going to make my life complete? I came onto this earth, for good dick and romance and loving and all this other stuff. You may miss out on the things that really assist you in living at your highest vibrating level. For some women, where it is that they are in their lives, that's the level that they're at. They're like, oh, good dick. Now everything is, oh, I got everything. Oh, it's not about
yeah,
the
but that same
right.
woman, you don't know her story. She could be educated, have her shit together, and that may be just the one thing that she wants that'll just add that cherry on top. Even if it's we're friends, we're gonna get together, have a good time maybe once a week or whatever, or whenever I feel like it. I feel like there's nothing wrong with that at all. You can
Right.
have your shit together
However,
and still be able to have a good time every now and then. I mean, you
yeah,
don't have to have a man move in your house, live with you, or you move in his house. It doesn't have to be all, serious and all this all the time. It could just be a good time.
there's a contradiction here. There's a contradiction here, right? And the contradiction comes in, if that dick attached to that man was so good, then it wouldn't be a booty call kind of thing. Every once in a while, I ride up and down on this man's dick, but he's
Well,
really not.
maybe she's on a journey where she has
He's.
other things to focus
I.
on.
When it was time for you to talk,
I've
I
been
did let
there.
you talk, right, Lucy? And you can tell your story in a moment. But if that dick and that man were really all of that, then he would be there for more than just the booty calls. He would be there to be a support system to her. It's not like you called in and you said, you know what, Tonya, you need a god. You need a king. You said that I need
Yeah, I really do feel like that. I feel like
right,
you're at the level to where,
right. But it's more than just dick. And if that man was all of that, then he would not be a booty call that comes stirring around in your guts once a month or from at work or somebody
what
that
if a woman wants that? That's her right. We're all about women's rights. If that's what she wants and
are
that's
you
what she's at in
talking
her life,
about
hey,
some other woman, or did you come onto this? If you came up and you gave an arbitrary statement, some women out there need good dick, right? You came onto
yeah,
my
right.
airwaves saying, Tonya, I feel you need good dick. This is what
Yeah,
you
and you
said.
know why? Another reason why I feel like that, you seem very on edge. Like the last phone call, it was like, oh my gosh. At some point, she's not even worth your time. Just hang the phone up. This the whole, just keeping it. She's lying. Lies are being called every other second. You can just.
Let me help you by enacting some of that you felt I should enact on other people onto you. You to practice what you preach, right? That's what we want, right? You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name?
Tia.
Hi, Tia. Listen, I'm going to put you on hold for just a moment and I'm going to come back to you, okay? Just make sure that your speakers are down and that you're ready to talk. All right. We started out this phone conversation we started out this broadcast. What was the very first few things that I said in this broadcast, right? I said that the pandemic is getting to me, that I am in a state. I said I really haven't been feeling like making videos. And, I came out and I created this forum for us to be able to interact and have an open discussion. If there's anybody out there who is confused about whether or not I said, what was the number that I said that my energy was vibrating at when I first came on this broadcast? What was the level that I said? I did not say I was operating at a 10. I'm going to let you all put down the number of where it is that I said that my energy was vibrating at. I did not say that I was at full throttle. I didn't. Thank you. First person who came up with the number was Alexandra. She put in a 6. Desiree put in a 6. Mojo put in a 6. Designs by Regina. Beautiful one. Desiree, Mojo, 6. Joshna said 6. PJ said 6. Thank you. Thank you. So when I come out and I say, you know what, this shelter in place is getting to me, this pandemic is getting to me, that there's a lot of things that's going on and my energy is at a 6. And then you call up and you start saying, oh, Tonya, you seem very tense. That last call was like, oh my God, or this, that, and the other. And you tell me that the solution to that is not for me to have a god or a king or a high vibrating male enter into my womb, but just maybe just some dick to stir up in my guts, right? And then I've already answered, I had some very good dick recently, right? And still the pandemic is getting to me. Still we're sheltered in place. How many people out there, I want you to throw up your hands. How many people out there is the pandemic, are you having a difference of emotions come to you during this pandemic? If the answer is yes, throw up the number 4. I want to see these 4s. If the answer is no, put up 5. So yes, 4, put up 5, no. Because at the end of the day, I'm broadcasting here, but I'm still a human being. I operate in a human body. Right. And when I come out and I tell you that there's, I'm in a state, I know that I am. All of these 4s are coming out. So it's like, why are people acting like I'm in some special category where I am unhuman when I'm letting you all know that I'm experiencing the same ups and downs and waves that other people are experiencing during this pandemic? All right, you're on the air live. You said your name was Tia?
Yes.
Okay, so Tia, what is your comment, dear?
Okay. One, I apologize for the energy that you're getting from Deborah, and I tuned in a little late because I have my daughters and my son, and it's the weekend, so everybody's up. But I've heard the end of what Miss Deborah was saying, and then I came on and I heard the woman that you were speaking to, and how rudely she stated that you needed some dick. And I hear that term anytime we're not
smiling the way that people want us to smile or acting the way people think we should act. I don't know why women say to each other, you need some dick, as if dick is going to make everything right in the world. I think it's disgusting. I think it's trashy. I think that women who say that, their level of understanding their own worth and their own body is completely obsolete. And I don't know when she said it, I was like, here we go with the same trashy, comment to say, well, how can you tell me I need to put a penis in my body to be a better person? And I don't understand how it's acceptable for any woman, especially a woman of color, because we always get deemed as having an attitude and having, we act a certain way. We get demonized by white people. And then we say to each other, girl, you need some dick. Is that your level of education?
Well,
I don't get it. And I would have hoped that I came in after that woman, and she sounds like she's way older than me. I would have hoped that I came in afterwards and I didn't have to hear that, because that is the trashiest advice that you can give another Black woman about anything going on.
Yeah, you know what? I will say a caveat to that though. If you're in a relationship, right? And things are, you may be a little more tense than usual, right? And your man comes and says, baby, I know what you need, right? That's a whole different story.
Okay,
that's a different story.
Right.
When he's coming with the thermometer, to gauge your temperature, that's a different story. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When he's coming with that's a different story.
Right.
But for another woman to come to another woman and say something like that, you're right. It is inappropriate. It's first of all, we are all in this collective experience of this pandemic, this shelter in place. There's a lot going on. There's an energy that is creeping up on the United States where we may be in the fall of the US. Our country may be falling. We don't know if we're going to have a country. There's so many different agencies which have been degraded, which have been downtrodden. We have over 200,000 people dead. And then someone comes onto my airwaves with all of this stuff that's going on and tells me that in response to all of this stuff that's happening, that what I need is for some miscellaneous person, because if I'm not married, right? If I'm not married, this means that I have to, take on some miscellaneous person to come from wherever to come take their penis. That may leave me in a worse state. That may leave me in a damn worse ass state.
Right. And to me, intimacy is so, it's an intimate act. It's so, I don't understand casual sex. And I'm not even old. I'm 34. Mm-hmm. Okay, I don't understand casual sex. It takes a lot of energy, a lot of thought, a lot of pride to just lay down with somebody just because this person may satisfy something that I feel is temporary. I met my husband and we didn't have sex for the first 2 years.
Of your marriage or your relationship?
Of our relationship. The first 2 years we didn't have sex.
Okay.
And that's because of our religion, and because we live in 2 different states and we have to move together. And then, and so I got to know him to a point where everything about him was beautiful. Everything, the way he spoke to me, and I have a child before him, my son, the way he treated my son, and to the point where I wanted to be intimate with him. He deserved that from me, and it's easy. I can walk down the street and, hey, little mom. No, that does nothing for me. It does nothing. If I cannot connect with you on a spiritual level, I don't understand it. And to throw a term out there like that, it's just ratchet. It's a ratchet term that I believe ratchet women use, because I don't know any woman that understands her worth and her beauty can say that to another woman so candidly. I don't know. But girl, you got more energy than me, because I would have been hung up. After she said that, I would have been, okay, thank you. And I just can't. I can't do it.
No, I feel you. I feel you. And so that's the key right there. You know, like you said, you met your husband. Once you got to know him, everything about him was beautiful. And there are people in the audience who are writing about how sex is a spiritual exchange. And yes, yes, sex is spiritual. And there's so many of us out here who are under the low vibrational tutelage of people who don't even know their own goddamn selves, who have tried to convince women that sex should be no big deal and that they shouldn't have any feelings attached to it, and that she's a dumbass bitch if she do get feelings attached to it, and all this, that, and the other, right? There's far too many women who are listening to the lessons of people who can't tell their own ass from their elbow. They're the ones who are spiritually defunct. And they're listening to people with penises, male persons who, for their own better, for their self-interest, they want to try to convince girls. So they've been training these girls on how to accept nothing but dick from men for decades. They're like, oh, you caught feelings, that's your own problem. Oh, you there's something wrong with you if you. So someone exchanging energies with you, coming to the point of climax where you temporarily leave your body and you go to that esoteric, otherworldly plane, right? So this person who is coming here with you and bringing you to that point, and you and they to that point, sometimes simultaneously, you go onto this other realm together. And they're gonna look at you and be like, you shouldn't feel attached to me because you're opening up your body and letting me swim all around inside your God-given womb holder. You know, they're telling keepers of the womb that they should not have any attachment to the spiritualness of sex, right? And then we have women who have been programmed in that, so that they come onto the airwaves and they start talking about how, oh, even if you just get it every once in a while from somebody, you just call them up and you just get some penis and this, that, and the other, because they have been convinced. They've been convinced.
Yeah. I'm not going to hold up your line. I know other people want to talk. And for people who want to know, because I glanced down because I'm on my work phone, and I'm watching you on my personal phone. The reason why I waited 2 years is because I'm Muslim. There is no sex before marriage. And so if it's not believable, I don't care. It is my religion. It is something that I grew up in. It is something that I teach my children. There is no sex before marriage. And if that's unbelievable to believe that a Black woman cannot remain celibate until she's married, that's another issue in society. But I'm going to leave that alone.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it alone, and I'm going to let someone else get on here, you know.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
But I love speaking with you, Tonya, and inshallah, I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Have you gotten my book yet?
No, I have not. Yeah. I know it's on Amazon. Affirmations. Mm-hmm. Can you post it on your?
It's in the description of every video, and it's on my website as well, so you can get the book there. It's an amazing book that really does create shifts. So it's an amazing book. I recommend it for everyone. It creates the shifts that you need in your life. Self-forgiveness, self-love, self-actualization, money attraction, abundance, all of that. It's an amazing book.
Right. And I'm going to get it because I just ordered some religious books from Amazon. And this is like my month of trying to read at least 12 books before the year is up, and I'm like behind. So
yeah, you know what? And you know what? And let me know the changes that it starts making in your life, because it starts happening almost instantaneously. From the first night that you do it, you start feeling differently. So thank you so much. I appreciate you raising the vibration of the broadcast. Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
Bye.
All right, so the phone lines are open. I appreciate you all. For some reason, okay, so look. So Callie, thank you for the cash apps. Cal 123, thank you for the cash apps. I appreciate them. Thank you. So you sent $50 saying this is your real job. I'm gonna come to you in just a moment. Just make sure that your phone line is that you're not on speakerphone and that you're listening through the phone and that your computer's speakers are down. I'll come to you in just a moment. All right. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. And then Callie sent another one talking about $10 for girl damn for that conversation with Deborah. Jesus. Thank you. Thank you for the cash ads. I appreciate that. Thank you. 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 All right. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Noah.
Wow, Noah, your phone line is so clear. Talk to us. What's up?
Hey, actually, I called a while ago, and I've been following some of these live streams. I want to say also thank you for being so patient with the last callers. I think that it's just people just trying to relate to you on whatever level that they can.
Okay.
And yes, it's incredibly limited. But you had asked prior, like, was that love? And I think for them, it is. It's just that they weren't receptive to what you were saying. So thank you for that.
Well, you know what? I have to challenge that. I have to challenge that.
Yeah.
If there is a person who knows that there is something that has been oppressive to them in their life, for them to suggest that to another person, I want you to help me understand, how is that love? How is it that you experience something that hurts you? Then you say, oh, this is what you need to do, something that is currently hurting me.
Right.
I gave the example of the tanga, the lace tanga that was destroying the inside of my inner cheeks.
Yeah. And I think it's consistent too with society and how we tell our women and our men, I'm gay, to appease to the male pleasure and to totally disregard our own self-love. But moving forward, I was curious about, I remember a couple of years ago, you had this sort of project where you were bringing people, I think, to Africa to meet other partners because the quality there were a lot more consistent with what you're disseminating on your platform and what we need. And I'm curious, in combination with this, because love is very important, with what's going on with Corona and what you just told us about the US and how it may be failing, do you think that Black people who love themselves, do you think that America is the place to be now or in the future?
You know, listen, this American money is good. The money in America it can be really good, you know, compared to other places. Because in Ghana, you still have the cedi. Oh gosh, I forget what the exchange rate is now, but the dollar is stronger than the cedi. I think there's five cedis for $1, right? So a cedi is 20 cents, I believe, but don't quote me on that. And it's also been a year since it's been 9 months. Can you believe it's been 9 months, right? Since I went to Africa. Time just flies so fast with this pandemic. So in Nigeria, the naira it was like 360 to 1. So $1 for 360 naira, and this was no joke. You know, the people in Nigeria were making like $150 per month. And so when we talk about what is self-love is going to look different for different people. You know, for some people, getting that American dollar, building up their bank account and doing what it is that they need to do, getting their piece of the pie on this land that our ancestors bled on, fighting for what is ours on this land, is self-loving for them. For other people, expatriating and going to a different land is what's self-loving for them. I know expatriates. I know people who have moved to different countries all around the world because that was the right move for them. Just like when somebody asked me about getting on a plane and they asked why I didn't, my spirit, my intuition told me not to, so I didn't. So I think it's important. You know, there was a caller that called in talking about going into the stillness, you know, into the quiet, which is something that she said she hadn't done for 40 years. So I think that it's up to each person to go into that quiet space and you all right over there, Noah?
Oh, yeah, I'm breathing.
Oh, are you going into the quiet space now?
Pardon?
Are you going into the stillness, into the quiet space now? Is that what's going on?
I mean, that's the goal.
Okay.
But I'm here with you. I'm listening.
Okay, so yeah, so I think we need to go into the stillness, into the quiet spot on the inside, and figure out what's right for us. You know?
Yeah.
Does that answer your question? So if leaving is right for you, then do that. I know what I'm going to do come November 4th if things don't go the way I feel that they need to do. I know what I'm going to do, and I'm putting the pieces in place right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if I were other people, I'd start making some inquiries because I'm not going to stay here. I'm not going to stay here for the failing ship. I'm not.
Right.
Because I don't think that we can take another 4 years of Trump. And the way things are going, I'm not interested in fighting this part of the downfall, because we're on our way down, because this person is going to be operating with no tether.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious. I hope you're not. Oh, I'm sorry. The audio is. I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Following up with that, like I remember you were in like South America or Latin America, and I'm curious. Like for me, I'm looking to move out of America, and is that what you recommend? Because yeah, I too also feel that you are a teacher. You are like a bridge for people who are living in their lifestyle, and you show them that, hey, there's a different way to do it. You don't have to live a 9 to 5. You don't have to engage in the death trap of capitalism. So anyway, you're an excellent teacher.
Yeah. So what I would say, because I have citizenship to more than one country. I'm just going to say that. I currently own more than one passport. I'm going to say that. So if worse comes to worse with this country, I have another passport that I can travel on, right? I don't know what's going to happen to this country, but I don't like the direction that it's going in. And I was talking, so that the country that I have a passport from, it's not a first world country, so I'm not able to travel smoothly on it to any country. I have to go get the visas and all that other stuff. However, I was talking to some people that I met in Nigeria who were applying for citizenship, and we can start looking into, you know how people come to the border here, we can start seeking asylum because like for those of you who remember watching Handmaid's Tale, the country that they went to get refuge from the hellhole that had become the US was Canada. And Canada, we can look into be asylum seekers, because we have gotten to the point where, you know, if we are being persecuted by the color of our skin in this country, last year alone, so basically every 19 hours a black person, I'm sorry, every 23 hours a black person is shot and killed by the police in this country. Last year there were 253 deaths and of black people. And if you look, just if things are just, I don't know what it'll take, but I think that more and more of us need to start looking into seeking asylum, because I don't know what's going to happen in this country, but I know that we are outnumbered in this country by people who have proven over the centuries to be barbaric. And now they're armed and they're coming out to the protest looking for a reason to start trying to shoot people. They hung a person in Palmdale, California. They hung another person in another part of California. And it's like, I'm sick of certain things about this country. You know, so when somebody comes on the airwaves and says that because you are feeling a lot of feelings that are coming up from a lot of things that you're paying attention to, that you need to go pacify yourself on some penis, you know, it really discounts the real life, the coming that many of us see that's happening out there. You know what I'm saying?
They're not, as you were saying, they're not in their center. They're not in their space to self-reference. and to realize what they're really experiencing. Like, you live from passion, and your passion, like, you were actually, how do I say this? You have an awareness of like the metaphysical, and your intuition is like on. So that makes perfect sense. Thank you for answering my question so thoroughly. I have a follow-up if we have time.
Sure.
Do you think though we should fight for those who don't? Like, I'm seeing in the comments that, you know, some people feel like it's too late, and that's something that I have been struggling with in terms of discernment and my time and my energy and how I want to fight for people. But some people just don't seem to deserve it, but other people do. But then also I need to protect myself and what's precious to me. So
what do you mean fight for who? Fight, what are you talking about?
Fight for the people of color, people who are marginalized in America and who don't have access to international travel, and they're stuck for survival. You know, how do you suggest that we
you know,
provide guardianship?
I feel like you're asking a question that you've already decided the answer for. You finish up your question with how you have to protect your energy. We all know how much we have to give out. Listen, I'm friends with lawyers, or I'm associates with lawyers who are in this freedom fight every day. Every single day. I know people who work for the NAACP who are constantly dealing with the murders. There's Breonna Taylor, Jimmy Atchison. There are people who were killed just this past week. And every single day they get out there and they go into the fight. And I ask them, how is it that you're able to do this? Because from the few months that I was on Facebook, you know, doing you know, the being a voice for the voiceless and creating these videos about the protests and all this other stuff, I was like, like with that whole Ahmaud Arbery thing, with just the lawlessness of these deviant demons, these demon-like humans, these demonoids. I just, it was exasperating to me. And so I personally, I can only do but so much. My passion is talking about people loving themselves. I can get on here and talk about loving yourself every single day. I could get on here and not be paid and talk about loving yourself through relationship, through food. So when that caller 123 Creations called in and she talked about what really loving yourself looks like some people think it's putting on, like she said, the snuffleupagus eyelashes and putting on a tight dress with some cleavage and getting a weave, and that's, you know, the self-love. But what is it that what are you ingesting? Where you sleeping at night? What are the people that you keep around you? Are you listening to your intuition? Have you gotten my self-love affirmations workbook? Are you doing the affirmations? Or what are you doing to self-fortify, to self-heal, to get to the next level spiritually, so that you don't think that the answer lies in the hole of some man's cock? So that you don't think that the answer to your salvation is going to be shot out someone's penis. So that you don't think that that is where you need to go for your healing, that you're over there trying to get some holy water out of a man's dick. You know what I'm saying? Listen.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, preach. Once again, thank you.
So my whole thing to you is listen to your intuition. If you have the energy to fight for other people, and what I say is this, because there were people who came to me and said, Tonya, why are you not out there at the protest? And I'm going to let you finish your closing statement, but I wanted to make sure I said this. People were like, Tonya, why aren't you out there at the protest? And I said, my reach, I have a reach of 23 million a week on Facebook. When I was doing those videos, I would reach 23 million people every week. I said, this is my power right here. My power is not going down into the ground. We need, just like in the game of chess, you need pawns to go forward. You need knights to skip around. You need the bishops to go diagonal. You need the queen to go around the board, and you need the king to hold the game all together. So it's like everybody, so like my friends who are the freedom fighters, they go out there on the ground and they fight. They go into the courtrooms and they fight. They're reading, they're pulling up documents and records and police reports, and they're handing that stuff off to me so that I can make videos, so that I can have accurate information. And that's the way that they fight. I fight in the way that I fight, the way that you fight, and it sounds like you want to fight. You just have to find the way that you can fight. Me writing this book was my gift to the world. And this book was downloaded through me. Like I couldn't, there's no way. I could not come up with these. The book was downloaded through me. And so this is my contribution to the world right here. And there's this saying that goes, when you feel an inspiration, when you are inspired, you are in spirit. And if you don't take advantage of that thing that you are inspired by, that inspiration travels over to somebody else. So people will be like, I had that same exact idea 10 years ago. I had the same name of the business, everything, because in spirit will travel through the place where it can be birthed. And if it cannot be birthed through you, it will go and be birthed through someone else. So this is why when you feel like I am not an illustrator, but when the book needed to be birthed and it came to me, because there was another book I was working on, and I said, but wait, this book is asking to be birthed right now. And I got up to the computer and I started doing what it is that I needed to do. And because I was inspired, I was in spirit, there was something that came from some other place. Like, this book is beautiful. When you see this book, the book is beautiful. It's beautiful, and I don't have the personal ability to be able to create this book by myself. But because I was listening to Spirit, Spirit showed me exactly how to do everything in this book. Like, if you look at the cover, if you look at the back cover, the barcode, all of this stuff was downloaded from Spirit. This is what I'm telling you. So do what you can in the way that you can do it. And when you are operating in your intuition, in your guidance, inspired in spirit, the way will be made. The way will be made. And you have to trust yourself. So if your spirit is telling you you need to leave this country, and this goes for anybody out there, leave this country. If your spirit is telling you you need to stay here and fight, stay here and fight. If your spirit is telling you that you need to get a 9-to-5 job, listen to your spirit and do that. But follow your guides and guardian angels. They will lead you to where it is that you need to be. Noah, I hope that answered your question, and I'll let you give your closing.
So thoroughly well, thank you. Download, I feel that. Once again, thank you for being an uplifter, a challenger, and a provider of information and knowledge. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for calling in. You have a great evening. All right. So I hope that was a message that somebody out there needed, because I believe that all of us who are here on this broadcast came to this broadcast for a reason, that we found ourselves on this broadcast together for a reason, and that everything happened on this broadcast as it was meant to happen. You're on air live with Tonya. What's your name?
My name is Jasmine.
Hi, Jasmine. So what are your thoughts this evening? I need you to turn your speakers down because I'm hearing an echo.
Okay, it's down. Is it okay now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, great. I just want to tell you, thank you so much for just being yourself. And I have came across you recently, and I'm so inspired because you're empowering me to be who I am even more. And I am finding my way, and everything you have said. I watch all your videos, and I've just been so like, this is why you're supposed to stay true to who you are. People want you to be clones here, but when you are true to who you are, you're yourself and you're unique. And you being yourself has inspired me to keep being myself, because the more that I'm keep being myself, I'm noticing that people are trying to suppress it. And it's very challenging to continue to be yourself and speak your truth, especially as a Black woman. And I've even gotten to the point where I said, fuck this shit. Excuse me for everybody who, excuse my French, but no more babies by men until we get this figured out. Like, it is too much. I don't like seeing children going through. It's too much for me. And I'm really just like, when I was watching your videos, I was laughing so much. Like, I just connected with you. I said, I know her. I've met her before, even though I know this person, because it's spirit, and it's you being yourself and you letting us know we're not alone. And I want you to know that I appreciate you so much. And I bought your book today, Self-Love.
Yay!
I got it. I purchased it.
Thank you.
I said, that's right. That's my sis. That's my sis, and I support it because at the end of the day, we are really in this thing. I can't even tell you how much I connect with you. Let me just say for disclosure, I'm a lesbian. Okay, I've been on game, elementary school. I've been peeped what was going on, and I'm good on it. I've been good on it, and it's like it's not that I wasn't attracted to dudes. I was, because that was what I was kind of programmed to do. But see, when I figured that I realized they weren't attracted to me the same way. See, when I saw beauty in them, they didn't see beauty back. Okay, well, so then I got up on game in elementary school. So it was very confusing for me, and I started internalizing a lot of self-hate until I realized you are the key. You are the key to the kingdom. She was savage. I'm on this I just like this. I love dark skin. I love blackness. I love black women. And I'm really just very confused on this time of this hate towards the black woman. A woman is God. Let's just be clear. God is the woman is God. Woman is the closest thing you'll come to the human form of God, period. And I'm sick of this. This is the power struggle that we're dealing with. And I come to these, like, you've inspired me so much. So let me just get these bullet points. Like, I was like writing something. I was like, I have to make sure, like, so I said, first you have to thank her for sharing who she is to the world. Okay, then if you want to touch on women, start taking your power back. And we are the power. This is the whole thing is a power struggle. No humans exist unless we exist. It is us. So this whole mind game is literally the game. Okay, it's like trying to fool you. They're flipping it. Oh, look at us. We're guys. You're stupid. There's no way a Y chromosome you are degenerate. There's no way. They told you in the Bible, I'm not a Christian. I've moved away. I'm not really connected. I'm not going to say, but they told you that woman can produce life by herself. Look up parthenogenesis, the snake. Look up why the serpent and the woman is interconnected in the Bible. Look at the messages they're trying to tell you that woman is all in herself God. When you procreate with these degenerates, you're just creating more. And I myself even feel like sometimes I'm ashamed to even have been a product of it, because it's been so degenerate in terms of like my existence. My existence, you couldn't even recognize to be there in my life. Like you literally, my creation was a second of your experience here. You weren't even able to be in my life the way that I've gotten to a place, to where I've forgiven this person. I have moved past because I recognize we're human. We just have to really find our own path. And me and my father have a beautiful relationship now because I was able to forgive him, but I was able to see what role he played in this. And women, we are the key. We are the end all be all. We have to stop procreating with them because it is us. I believe there's probably some women locked up somewhere because see, we are it. This is the end. This is the beginning and the end. I thought about
wait, I need you, hold on. I need you to pause that thought right there. I just need to address someone inside of the comments real quick. So there's a person who's laughing and saying, do you think you can procreate by yourself? This is not a joke. Please look it up. If there were no, so now we're in a state where men are available. But if there were no men available, women would be able to, according to the theory, they would be able to procreate on their own. What did you say the word was called? Progenous. What is it called?
Of course, it's called parthenogenesis. I think it was National Geographic that actually you can look it up. It's easy. And see, that's the thing, they don't tell you about it because they don't want you to know your power.
Yeah.
But see, they tell you through the Bible. See, they tell you through the Bible. I'm not trying to endorse the Bible. I'm not trying to. What I'm trying to tell you is that there's messages that is going around that I have came across, and it's the universe that keeps bringing it to me. Like I had someone who did my locks at some point, and when she told me, I laughed in her face. I didn't laugh in her face. I just kind of laughed in my head, and I was like, "Girl, you crazy."
But the information found me by itself. Once again, like universe, like you found me, right? Like I guess it's the algorithms. Like you click on it, and it's like, oh, now I know Tonya TKO, and I'm blessed. And I can come on her platform, and people can hear this and understand that you're hearing this because the universe is bringing it to you.
Yeah.
And because the positive affirmations, it's not a game. You have to speak it because the universe picks them up vibrations.
Yes.
When you say things, you speak it into existence, and that's the only way that I'm able to stand here today and speak to you and such. Like, oh my God, you have to say it, guys. You have to say I'm a successful business owner. You have to say, I don't care if you don't have it right now, because time and space is a very funny thing. I'm still trying to figure it out. But you are right now a billionaire. Yeah, I said it. You're a billionaire.
Right.
Because when you say it, the universe
exactly. Listen, I'm on the same page with you. When I cut you off earlier, you were at your bullet point where you were talking about how your father participated in. So I'm gonna let you get back to your bullet point. I just want to address these people real quick. So listen,
Of course.
So there are people who are like, you're not a fish, we're humans, we're more complex. You know what? Trust and believe, if there were no men available, I don't, especially with Black women having the Eve gene, I do not believe that the species would become extinct. You know, if you really, 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 truly think about it, right? The first humans did not come through procreation. You know, the first humans, they came in an androgynous way, and life came in through the wombs of women. So I would have to believe that if there were no men available, that even as complex as our DNA strand is, that something would happen. I'm telling you, something would happen, because one thing that you have to remember, if you think about it, so people are talking about sperm meets egg. Okay. So the egg has the X chromosome, right? And as we know, there are people out there, there are women who are walking, breathing, and living right now who only have one X chromosome. I met one on my Facebook page. One X chromosome. So if the female egg has that X chromosome and the fetus is carried in the womb, how do we know? Like, if you really think about it, if there's human beings who are walking around with an X chromosome, how do we know that? So she may have been having intercourse, but if she does not have the sperm's X chromosome and she only has one X chromosome, then look it up. There are women out there who have X0. So no, pansexual is something different. Pansexual is you don't care what genitals a person has. That's something completely different. But if there's a woman who's having intercourse and she just so happens to create an offspring from just her X chromosome, how do we know that that was a result of what happened with the man's where's his X? They claim that Mary was spontaneously impregnated with God's baby, and she says she wasn't having intercourse. So I don't know. All I'm saying is that I'm going to tell you all this, and I'm sorry, I'm going to get right back to you. I had a near-death experience in 2007. When I had my near-death experience, I realized that being human is the illusion, and that we have a lot more power. I don't talk about my near-death experience very much at all. Every once in a while, you all can get me on a broadcast where I talk about it. But I'm going to tell you, when I came out of the realm that I came out of, because I had a surgery, I was hemorrhaging, I had several blood transfusions, and the doctors were very worried. I went into this realm because when your body doesn't have enough blood, there are things that happen to your human form. So your human body wants to stay alive. But nonetheless, when I came out of this realm, I controlled the machines. It wasn't a matter of, please machine, please do this. No, I controlled the machines around me. You could say it sounds crazy, but I was able to, with my God essence, I was able to control the machines. I was able to stop the blood from hemorrhaging. I was able to do all of that. And I realized that we are under the guise of being human. But what you are, like, all of your spirit is not in your body right now. All of your spirit is not contained. This human body cannot contain all of your body, or all of this human body cannot contain all of your spirit. This is why when you think back to your graduation or a big event in your life, you see it through third person, because there's a higher self of you, a silent watcher that exists outside of you, that sees your life through the third person. And when you think back through a big event, when you think back to the time that you graduated or your baby was born, you're able to see from a third person point of view. When you think back to a car accident or whatever, you see everything as if it's playing out like a movie. Where did that perspective come from? How did you see that angle of the car? How did you see that angle of the stage? How did you see that part of the hospital? You saw it because all of your energy is not in your body, who and what it is that you are. So there are people who could say, oh, if worse came to worse, that you would not be able to produce an offspring on your own. Believe whatever it is that you want to believe. You know, it's up to you. All right, I'm sorry. Please go forward. You're back on the seat.
You are 100% fine to speak in truth to power. I am just so happy that I'm here, because see what you're saying is, and I want everybody to know here, you cannot die. Anybody listen, what you just said was so profound. The spirit is more, we are energy, and I think one of the fundamentals of physics is that energy only transforms. It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere like it's gone. It only transfers to something else. It only transforms. So everybody that's listening on this call right now, you cannot die. I even got so deep in it one night to where everything you're saying, I understood it completely. We are infinite in energy. Whatever's going on here in this realm, I know that because we are even seeing right now, we are understanding that it's bigger. Mm-hmm. We're being, I do feel like there's some using, there's some, everything you just said, really, you know, look, it's a whole nother situation going on, and this whole, you know, everybody should just kind of look at things. And the older I get, by the way, I'm in my 20s, and I just, you know, the older I get, the less judgmental I get, because the more experiences I get. So then the more compassionate I'm able to gain for people and their experiences. I'm starting to, I just gather things, and I'm realizing that we're all here experiencing something in an avatar. And the spirit cannot die. The spirit and who I am, it's here to, it's never, I'm here now. And supposedly we can't even remember the last way we died. It's just that we're back. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on in the outside world. I can't control some things over me. All I can do is, you know, try to just, you know, be in existence and try to figure it out. And being with Tonya TKO show helps me realize that I'm not alone.
Well, that's wonderful.
And that
Thank
I'm
you.
not crazy. Yeah. And I just appreciate you so much. And I honestly I'm just so happy I got to connect with you and talk with you, and that people are able to hear this. You know, look, this is what I always say. Don't believe me. Go do your own research. Anybody that tells you something, don't believe them straight up. Do your own research. Okay, I'm not just talking here out of the side. You know, I'm talking from things that came to me. Because the first time somebody told me that a woman is able to manifest a child on her own sounded crazy to me, but the information found me. It just found me on its own. I didn't ask for it. It just said, you are not, you're not crazy. You're not crazy. You're not alone. People know. I mean, the fact that I even thought this person was crazy, and then the fact that it found me through a male. It was a Black male that said one is God, and that the Black woman specifically, the Eve gene, look up, I think it's mtDNA. This is not some, I mean, I was even surprised that they even let it out the hat. That you even letting us know who we are. That you even put it somewhere that it can be discussed, or where people can even access this information on the Black woman and who she is to this world. And it's no, you know, it's actually no surprise when we go through the most, because we can withstand it, and we have all variations of humanity within us, because everybody to us, it's like we can see them within this human God-like eye. So we don't have, one important thing I have to say is I don't want to, hog up your time. I want to be respectful for everybody, but I do think that the violence that is found in this Y chromosome that's so disgusting and degenerate, and that is really the downfall here of humanity. I don't know how it happened. I don't know what happened and how the double X's got separated. I wish I could go back to the time, but either way, the Y chromosome got integrated in society and everything went down to shit. And honestly, we're in this situation. And I want to say that, everybody, we have to just be really cognizant of what we allow in our spaces, because it influences us subconsciously. There's a lot of messages being transferred through things that you can't really tell, and the violence that is present through the Y chromosome. You don't really see the double X chromosomes out here murdering their partners. Let's go there, because see, what's going on here is that if double X people can give life, the neutrality of it is to take life. The people that are destructing this planet are mostly have this Y chromosome, and if you have the power within you to give life, it is the ultimate power. But what makes you feel like you can be her? Because see, this whole thing is about how can I be a woman? How can I just be her? I just want to be her. Can you please make me feel like I'm a woman? Boom. I'm not going to lie to you, right? I'm not going to sit here. Look, I will understand why you want out of that society. It's so toxic. I will honestly think, like, I want you to go through the complete surgery so that I can feel safe around you, because you won't weaponize something against me. Right? But see, let's go there, because see, the power of a woman is to give life. That is this whole world. But see, the only way that you can feel just as powerful as her is to take life. It's to take it. That's what I'm seeing, this violence here, this violence. What is it about? Because see, as a double X chromosome holder, I just naturally have this thing that is just connected to the divine. And to take life is so disgusting. To do it for no reason, unless your life is literally in danger. So to take it is to say, I'm just as powerful as you. You can give life, but God doggone it, I can take it. But see, that's the only way they can feel powerful, is to say that I have some type of control over this thing. It's a very disgusting world. But thank you so much for your time. And honestly, like I bought your book, and I'm so excited to read it, because I started having these positive affirmations that I started saying in my life before I, started doing things. Before I even started doing them, I spoke them, and then I just realized I was doing them. Then I just did them. And it was so weird. It was so weird. And like, thank you for sharing your story and being truthful for your story. And I'm just so grateful for your life, and I love you. You're beautiful. You're not on here, you just do it and you show it, and it's like you do it, and it's like I just love everything about you. And I'm just happy that I was here able to share my existence on this realm, wherever we're at, in whatever I've learned so far. But I encourage everybody to don't take my word for it. Go and look.
Yes, absolutely.
Go look it up.
There's some people who want you to put some links in the comments as well. But when the video goes up, if you want to come back and put some links, put the links in the comment section. But thank you so much for calling, and tell me your name one last time.
Absolutely, because I'm on YouTube, and my name is on YouTube. It's Men Are the Problem. That's my name on YouTube. So let's just simmer and think. And the Men Are the Problem. That's my. I will put the link, after it's posted. I will definitely do that.
Okay. Well, thank you
Peace
so
and
much.
blessings.
I love you too. Bye-bye.
You cannot die. Everybody on listening, you cannot die. But yes. I love Tonya, Queen Tonya TKO. You got this. I'm following you. I'm forever a stan. Please believe.
Thank you. You have a great evening.
Thank you. You have a great evening.
All right. Okay, so listen. Listen. The things that she was saying about XY chromosome persons is unfortunately very true. If you look at who is doing the murdering, who is enacting the violence, who is the people who are putting this aggression out there and the destruction, and unfortunately for the most part is XY chromosome persons. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name?
For putting this aggression up there.
Okay, so I'm going to come back to you. You got to make sure that your speakers are down low. I want to give a special thank you and shout out to Stephanie, who's Cash App me $20 and says $20 for the entertainment with a crying face emoji. Thank you. You are welcome. Thank you. So thank you to all of the people who have Cash App me this evening. It really does help. So thank you. I use my Cash App to buy groceries. When I go to the grocery store, I use the debit card that I have from the Cash App to do it that way. And I get my organic groceries that way. So thank you all. So it really does help. It does come in handy. Thank you. All right, you're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name? Hello.
It really does.
Yeah, so look, when I come to you, you need to talk to me through the phone. You need to make sure that your speakers are down and that you just talk through the phone, because then you miss the opportunity. Hello, you're on the air live. What's your name? Hello. I'm going to start blocking people's phone numbers. When you call, you need to please come correct. Come correct. Go ahead and thumbs up this video. There are 188 thumbs up and more than 3,000 people on the line. So go ahead and thumbs up the video and we will take the next caller. So I appreciate all of you having a robust conversation inside of the comment section. Listen, as human beings, we're a lot more powerful than we think we are. That's the simple part of it right there. What is going on? It says that we've been on for 44 minutes, but I know it was just up in the 2 hours. So I think it's 2 hours and 44 minutes. So we're going to be getting off of here any moment now. Let's see. I'm going to come to you in just a moment. Make sure that your speakers are down and that you're ready to go on the air. Talk to me through the phone, okay? So listen, the phone lines are open. We're just going to take a few more phone calls, and then we are going to call it a night. So I appreciate all of you who have come out. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name?
Tonya, this is Felicia. How are you?
Hey, Felicia. I know you have a hard time nowadays with that whole Bye Felicia business.
Well, you know, Tonya, I spoke with you the other day. I'm the young lady that I spoke with, and I was from New York, and you was like, your accent was really thick, and you recommended me to do some shadow work.
Yes. Did you ever?
Yes.
What did you do?
Well, Tonya, I actually started to look into it, and I really, really appreciate you bringing it to my attention. Of course, I am familiar with shadow work. I wasn't familiar with the terminology, and it was interesting because, this week really had a lot of correlations that made me kind of really look at my childhood and some of my practices now. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, again, I'm still on my journey, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm so thankful that you brought it up, because what I did was when you told me about it, I said, let's look into it. And I kind of shared the information with some of my coworkers and stuff like that, and family members. But I'm just on my journey with that, Tonya. So I do appreciate you for just kind of bringing that to my attention.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you for following up with that feedback. I love to be able to hear feedback once people, start creating the shifts that they need to in their lives. So thank you for that.
Thank you. I wanted to just mention, I do agree. I completely agree with you about, you had made a statement earlier about that when the universe sends out information, it sends it, it's transmitted, and really is like we're receivers. So if the information is sent out, somebody is going to capture it. So if you don't get the download, and you know that it was implanted in you, and if you don't do nothing with it, because the information has been transmitted, whoever gets to it first. So that's why we have to be very intuitive and really listen to where we're guided. Yes. So when you said that, I was like, you are so correct. I truly believe that.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so I'm really enjoying this dialogue, Tanya. So I appreciate you.
All right. Well, thank you so much for calling in, and thank you for the update, Felicia.
Have a good one. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. All right. So phone lines are open. We're going to take a few more phone calls, and then we're going to jump off. I'm going to bring you on the air. Make sure that your speakers are down and that you're talking through the phone and ready to go on. So hold on. I'm going to read a few of the comments and then we'll jump back into the phone. So Designs by Regina saying, I'm in tune with my spirit. Misha is saying, lies, devil is father of the lies, love my men, trifling, glad can. Listen, I don't know what is going on right now. And so Bella is saying, okay, men are the problem. She's talking to the person who that's their screen name. All right. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name?
It's Angel Brown from Virginia.
Hi, Angel. So what is your comment this evening?
Well, I kind of just tapped in at the last minute and I was going on the open forum and I wanted to see if you had any input or something on the Kanye situation as far as him talking about his daughter, Northey, and sending out like an open message or open letter to her, whereas he's saying that if something happens to him and that type of thing. Are you aware of that?
No, he wrote a letter, an open letter to North saying if something happened to him, oh Lord.
Yeah, he said if something happens to him, he was a good father and this and that.
When did this happen?
You know, he gets into his, I'm sorry.
When did this happen?
I saw it posted yesterday.
Oh, wow. I did not know that this was going on. But you know, he has some mental health issues that are not being upkept. He's not on top of his mental health.
That is very correct, and I don't think the women in his life are. I think they're kind of using it to their advantage. Sooner or later, it's common sense. They're using it, and they will be using it later too. You know, when they're finished using this black man up, they're gonna use it then.
I have no. Listen, besides a general level of human respect and kindness for Kanye, Kanye made his decision of who he chose. So I remember when I was in my 20s, I was in Miami. It was a Super Bowl weekend. There was a lot of parties going on. I've told you this story before. I was standing in the crowd looking so cute in all my 20s glory, skin popping, perfect, everything, little body tight and right. And this football player was barreling through the crowd to get to me. But when he got to me, he bumped me out of the way. And when I looked behind me, he was going towards some white girl, right? Some plain looking white girl.
I recall that story. Yes. I recall that.
So these people, these men, when they decide to go and get their other half, they go and they choose who they want to be wedded to. They choose who they want to be able to make decisions for them in case they have a mental health crisis. They choose who it is that they want to pass culture on down to their children and their offspring. They choose who is going to be executor of their will when they decide to marry these people. So listen, if you want her and that's the woman that you chose to be your wife, then by all means, I trust you in all your maleness and in your male glory. I trust that you've made the decision that you feel is right for you and your life path. So I respect it and just go. Just I don't know if you all know what this symbol means, but that's it. He chose her, and if she chooses to take him and put him on the griddle, flip him, turn him upside down, wait for him to get $1 billion, and then shake him out for half of it.
It was his choice.
I'm sorry. Look, okay. This is who you chose. Listen, I realized in that moment when I was pushed aside in the club, right? I realized, you know what? Listen, these people choose partners who they got to wake up to. You choose to be with a person that you have to wake up next to. a person that you got to sit there and watch TV with, a person that you got to go on long drives with, a person that you got to sit down at Thanksgiving
that's the hard
with.
part right there.
Listen, you choose the person that you want to be with. And if that is not a person that you love, if that's not a person that you can get along with, because there are people, it's like men don't really want to understand the nature of men. They want to pretend as if they are things that they are not. A man is going to look for a woman who has what he considers to be the outer beauty first, and then hope for the personality that she's a good fit second. He's gonna go and try to get a woman. Some of them are even going to get women that they feel that other men will find attractive. That they will build up their desires based on what they feel other men will give them props on. Big 50-year-old men. Listen, nowadays we got men out here talking about they swallowing red pills and all this other stuff, talking about they want to find some 18-year-old women and all this. A big grown ass men. Listen, my niece is in her late teens, and I see the type of things that the 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, and 20-year-olds are talking about. I see what they're talking about. I see their addiction to the internet. I see that they're talking about these newfound artists and the TikToks and they're talking about, these new dance craze and the challenges and they this is what's going on in their minds. And I'm like, if you think as a 50-year-old man that you want to be with an 18-year-old and you think that you're going to be happy, what are you going to talk about? I remember when I was a teen, and there was an older man who attempted to get with me, right? And I'm over there as a teen listening to my, my naughty by nature, and I'm listening to my, my Red Man and my Method Man and my Wu-Tang Clan and my Onyx, and he's over there coming with his Donny Hathaway and his Stevie Wonder, and I was just like, I couldn't relate to it. I was like, shoot 'em up, shoot 'em down, I rock rough and stuff. This is my hip hop parade. Oh, this is where I was. And he was talking about some color dancing in the color of love, some Stevie Wonder. That just wasn't where I was. You know what I'm saying? So if you at the age of 50, if you want to go, let me think, a 50-year-old is still from that whole Stevie Wonder era. A 50-year-old is from that whole me and Mrs. Jones. If you
got a thing going on. Yes,
so listen,
not sure.
Exactly. So come on, downtown, then the love train. So if you think you're gonna take I'm on the love train, and you over here with some girl who is talking about
wop, she on the wop.
I'm classy, bougie, ratchet. I mean, you could go ahead and do that if you want to. You know what I'm saying?
They like them like that though.
And if they think that is what's going to make them happy, this is my point. Go for it. Go for it. Because listen, there's a lot of men out there who are vapid. They don't want to answer questions, and goddamn it, they don't want anybody who's going to ask them any, because they don't want. You see how there was a young lady who called in, and we started talking about the universe and mitochondrial DNA, and listen. There's a person who came on the line and was like, "You look like you ain't done good dick, you done dick, right?" There's a person who came on. Listen, there's a person who came on talking about, and so you all get to hear where a different person is in their life. I come into contact with a lot of different people on these phone calls. What you're seeing people being reflected back to them. So you come on, there are people out there who's like, "I'm not a hater," but what you're doing is hateful. You suggesting lace tangas to a person who's already having issues running. You know what I'm saying? So my point is this, right? Kanye chose Kim. This is what he wanted. There are 50-year-olds out there who are choosing 18-year-olds because these men know that whatever it is that is going on or not going on in their mind, they are at the level where maybe that's all they have to give. We spend so much time talking about how some woman is not wife material. A lot of these niggas out here is not husband material. They're not husband material. And far too many women out here talking about going and sliding up and down on some man's dick, letting him enter into her womb. And this man ain't right. Remember KRS One said the girls look so good, but what? What was the second part of that? The girls look so good, but what?
They're not ready.
Their minds are not ready. I'm going to give a shout out to the first person who writes it in the comments. So it's like, okay, if this is what you want, like some of these men, it's like, oh, okay, so they have the dick, they have the hard dick. Some of them got big dicks, right? But where is their mind? You're letting a person enter up into your womb, but where is their mind? Where is their spirit? It's like you letting these men enter into you with all of their freaking broke ass problems. So the first person, Designs by Regina, says their minds are not ready. Tanya Walker said their minds are not ready. That is the verse right there. The girls look so good, but their minds are not ready.
But their minds are not ready.
Exactly. So my whole point is we letting men up into our wombs and they're coming with that like pig pen with all that dust all around them, and we're letting them run up inside of us and then leave out of us with their energy vampiring off all of the affirmations that we've said. They're feeding themselves, and then we end up with money problems. We end up stressed out because they have transferred their energy over to us because like how many women out there, you were doing all right until you started rolling around with a broke ass man? How many women? We're going to do a survey. What's going to be? What was the last number that we came up upon? What was the last number we did for the survey? Was it 5, 6? What was the last number we did? You know what? Come on, give me the last number. So this is the issue, that we are occupying our time with men,
wasting,
exactly, who are downgrading us. All right, so they're saying that 4 and 5 were the last numbers that we did. Okay, so we'll do 6 and 7. Ladies, how many of you out there were ever doing well? You were on a trajectory, things were going fine. Then you got entangled.
Don't do that one though. Won't want that one.
You got entangled. You were doing all right. Then you brought on a man who had baby mama drama, and he had some issue, couldn't keep a job, and then the next thing you know, your ass was fired. Or you started having issues your damn self. He just came along and deposited his problems into you. So if this has happened to you, put up a number 6. If this never happened to you, you don't know what I'm talking about, put up a number 7. You are right over there.
I never measured so sorry.
All right. So there's the numbers there. So Kanye was in a space in his life, right?
Sorry, y'all.
He decided to get with Kim because he dissed Amber Rose. He said that Kim was the queen he really wanted. He had to take.
How many times he watched himself though? He watched himself. You remember that?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. You took the words out of my mouth. He said he had to take 30 showers.
Come on with now.
In order to be able to get with Kim, because Kim was so high up on a pedestal. Some trick who claimed to fame is having Ray J bust nuts inside of her. That's what.
Might I add, she was the dirtiest of the dirty, but go ahead though.
So
sorry, that's in my opinion.
So her claim to fame was some sex tape that was leaked. She didn't do anything of merit. What's her educational level? What we know more about her ass and titties and her fake plastic accoutrements than we do about her as a human being.
I think she got a 3rd grade education though. Go ahead.
Listen, who knows? Because we don't know. What has she accomplished with her life? Listen, Megan Thee Stallion is in school right now. Anybody ever heard about Kim going to school, taking any extra classes or this and that? Well, what is she doing? Besides walking around
paying her way through school.
Looking
She's
like
paying her way through school now.
Looking like a sausage stuffed into plastic dresses. So it's like
with the plastic body, though.
Right, this is the woman, this is his queen. This is his queen. So
Queen of plastic, yeah.
More power to him. So do I have any sympathy for Kanye West? Because, oh, look, so people are talking about she's going to school to become a lawyer, right?
I said it's paid for. Did you hear me? I said it's paid for. All that money, you can pay for anything. You can put something in somebody's pocket and pay for a degree. Come on, let's look back at the Trump stuff. All his kids, him himself. Look at it. Come on, y'all.
Listen,
let's be smart.
You know what? But at least, listen. I hope
you can pay for an education.
I hope that Kim Kardashian that she took her LSAT and that she's really going to classes and that she's really doing something. I really hope that she is. I hope, right? I hope.
You say classes, and we separate the asses part. You said
right, classes. That's what I'm talking about. Because I don't want to be mean spirited to her. Because at the end of the day, he has a right to choose any woman that is right for him. What you're seeing is a reflection. Kim Kardashian reflects something back to Kanye. That is his truth. Mm-hmm. That is his queen. That is who he chose. So when they go and put him on the griddle and turn his pockets inside out, this is the queen that he chose. And now that she's going to go get her law degree, I hope that she knows enough about law to be able to really take him to the cleaners. Like that. Scratch that from the record. Scratch that.
And that's what she's going to do. That's what she's going to do.
Pretend I didn't say that. Take that off the record. But listen, that's what it is. Oh, wow.
That's what she's planning to do. She's using all this footage and all these images and all these rants and Twitter things to hold it against him when it comes to a point. But he's covering his tail to try to tell his one child that he speaks about all the time, which is Nori. Your father's a good dude, and if something happened to me, then you know what happened to me. I'm speaking the truth. I love you, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, of course, he is a little, everybody knows he's a little crazy, but everybody's, I think, everyone suffers from some form of mental illness, whether it be mild or really out there.
I don't care. Because with Kanye West, I don't care. I'm sorry. I didn't want to put it that way, but I don't care. I don't care. This is the woman that he chose. Then whatever happens to him in that relationship is listen, this is who he chose. Of sound mind. He chose her before he started acting crazy. So this is who they want. Let them have them.
He did. He was with her during it. I think she caught him during a vulnerable time also.
I don't care.
I understand it, but sometimes, somebody's in a certain mental state and you catch them. That's probably not a good idea. And like I said, that's what he chose, but he probably didn't have people around him who actually cared about what he was doing, how he was moving in his life at that time, because it was more about the money instead of his mental, physical well-being. And she kind of snuck in there, and then him being so obsessed with her, that probably didn't help much either.
I don't care. I saw the way when Kanye West was dating a black woman, I saw the way he looked miserable. And the more money he got, the more lighter and brighter and whiter he got.
I got you.
So it's like, imagine me as a queen, as a goddess, investing my time in advocating for a man who, if I was on fire and I needed Kanye West to pee on me, he's so far up in Beverly Hills that he wouldn't even pee on me if I was on fire. He
might burn you anyway, but okay.
Listen,
hello?
He said he wouldn't pee on you either if you were on fire.
You probably better off burning with the fire than him. But go ahead. Sorry.
So I don't care. It's like we have all of this compassion for these men who would not choose you. Kanye West would not choose me. He wouldn't exalt me and create a family with me and share his legacy and DNA with me. He wouldn't do it. If I needed,
What was it?
if I needed a loan for my business, or I needed some business classes or business schools, he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't help me.
He might pay for it for you.
No, he wouldn't.
You don't think he paid for it?
No. No.
You have to catch him in a certain episode for him to pay for it, right? Like in a hypnotism state or something like that.
You saw the way he treated that dark-skinned girl at his press conference versus the white girl. You saw the way he treated her. So no.
But was this pre his mother or after his mother situation?
His mother died so many years ago. His mother died when I first got on YouTube. His mother died a long time ago.
Okay, because I don't follow him that well, but when I see stuff I kind of tune in or whatever, and I kind of watch him when he tap out of Earth for a second and stuff. I kind of watch him like, what's really going on, dude? But like, was the browner skin before or after? Was he trying to do something while his mother was here to appease his mother, trying to prove something to his mother?
You know
his
what?
mother probably said, I don't know, you like this girl? Because I think Kim and him had a situation before then, and his mother was probably like, you like her, but I prefer you to be with a brown woman. I don't know, because I don't know the time frame, but was it that? Do you know?
You know what? I can only imagine that when he was with that, because his mother was the doctorate of African American Studies, I believe. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
And so maybe he was dating a black woman to appease his mother, but then when she was gone, he decided to go do what it is that he really wanted to do.
Exactly what I'm saying.
So so if there's somebody who's saying, no, Tonya, you got it wrong, I wouldn't choose Kanye. Look, I feel you, because I wouldn't choose Kanye either. I would not lay down and let Kanye put his sick penis inside of me. His low vibrational.
But how do we know it's thick?
I said sick.
I'm moving on. Go ahead.
I said
I'm sorry.
sick.
I'm sorry.
Not thick. SICK. Sick. He's sick.
Okay.
And he's coming
he's
coming with his bipolar energy and his mental unwellness. So you can't have a well penis connected to an unwell man. So his penis is unwell just like him. I wouldn't let his unwell penis near me.
Well, wait a minute now. Okay. All right. I got to divorce my husband then. Got wrong. Okay. I guess.
Listen, if your husband has untreated mental wellness issues and he's out there on the rampage, then you need to look into getting him well. Because the penis attached to a man that's unwell is an unwell penis. It's as simple as that.
I was talking about the opposite way though.
Oh, so you want some unwell penis? I mean, you could do whatever you want.
No,
I respect your choice.
No. The penis is well, but the mind is not all the way there.
I see. Well, look, listen, you could be enjoying that crazy penis. I heard that. Listen, they say crazy women make the best lovers. Maybe there's some avant-garde things he's doing, but it's still coming from
an older man, so it's okay.
Oh, okay. Well,
Tonya's like the TMI, too much information for me right now. Sorry, you guys. Sorry. So sorry. Not sorry.
Listen, they say energy is in the crazy sperm. That's what they're saying.
Tonya, I want to ask you something. I know, right? I want to ask you something else because, in my moment of calling you being petty, I was like, well, I thought about, I watched some videos of yours back when you were in Nigeria? Nigeria, was that? Lagos or somewhere? Lagos, Nigeria, right? Okay, you had a young man he was carrying you and trotting you around, and he was, cleaning you up and stuff. What happened to that? Put it on the spot.
You talking about Book Book, my sweetie pie, my friend?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, we're still friends. Like some people you were just meant to meet. Oh, I gotta plug in my phone. Some people you were just meant to meet.
That's true.
He was one of those people I was just meant to meet, and we were friends from the very beginning, and we're still friends now. That's
another thing. Maybe back on Kanye. Maybe Kanye and Kim were meant to meet for them to learn from something. I don't know, because some people are just, they pass through for a reason. And
Yeah,
maybe
but you
that's
know
a
what?
pass through for those two.
But I feel
I don't
like
know.
we are concentrating too much on the love choice of
Yeah,
a man who made a choice who wouldn't choose us. You know, it's like we spend so much time advocating for black men who just don't really care about us.
that's true.
What is Kanye West doing for black girls and women? What is he doing? What is he personally doing? He had some Sunday services where
No,
he was standing up there on some dusty roads
nothing.
with people.
He put them in the choir. He put them in the choir, Tony. He put them in the choir. He let them sing a little bit. He let them
How much
sing
have
with
you
a
had to drink
SANG. He
tonight?
let them sing. That's about it. That's all the master did was let them sing.
How much have you had to drink tonight before you called in on these airwaves?
Oh, none. I don't drink at all.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, listen.
No, this just me.
Well, you've been rolling around on your husband's penis, so you said he's not doing.
No,
Well, it's passing on. Listen, you don't need to drink now.
No, I don't drink at all. Just me and my kids, and they have the sleeper upstairs, so I'm able to come downstairs and just kind of let out.
Oh, I see. Okay, listen, hey.
Oh yeah.
Listen, I feel you,
Yes,
but
husband
listen.
upstairs with the kids. So.
Okay, and his mind not too right?
No, well, he's just he's focused on me a lot, which is not bad. I can't complain about that because I guess some women wish their husband was more focused on them, but
too much of anything is still too much.
So. What's that again?
Too much of anything is still too much.
Well, anything in excess is too much. So that's why I gotta scale him back sometimes. Okay. And so tonight I gave him to, the mission of keeping up with the kids. Not the case with the kids. Oh,
it sounds like one of them but anyway. Found their way down there to come to you. So that was his mission. Apparently he ain't doing a good job. One of them found their way down there to you.
Oh, no. That was a pop in and pop out. Go pop back out just now. Oh, yes. Because he knows that at a certain time, if it ain't shut down, then it's shut down, basically, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, he's good.
Okay. Well, are you talking
about... And it's our anniversary night, so...
Tonight is your anniversary and you on the phone with me?
Yeah, because we had a sleepover, unexpected, because I'm a nurse, and then my friend is a nurse, so she worked, and I had the kids over here. That's why.
Oh, okay. Y'all didn't have no dinner? You didn't make no special dinner, no champagne, no nothing?
Yeah, we did that about 2 hours ago. Actually, not 2 hours ago. It's around about 7 o'clock. And I lit the fireplace with the little tea light candles because I didn't want to do the wood thing because we haven't cleaned our chimney yet. So I did the tea lights, and I got him his ice house. Yes, I did. And then I got myself some Moscato Red. And it was a quick thing because the kids were next door on the trampoline. And then these are neighbor kids coming over. So when they came over to spend the night, when it was outside, me and him had like a quick, about an hour. I don't even say an hour. And then I was like, all right, when they started busting back in the house, I was like, all right, well, you know where to go to, kids. Grab your junk and stuff and grab your booty. Maybe a little can't say the other word, the top part, right? And that was that. It was like a meet up later. But that's the life when you have kids and other kids around, because we have two. And then the neighbor's kid is one, so it's 4 over here tonight. So that's why.
Look, you gotta take time out for you gotta listen. Mama and daddy gotta be right. But look, you know what you're doing. I respect your decision.
I do. I know how to sneak around and do. If we're gonna go outside and say, because he smokes cigarettes, so if he needs a cigarette break, I know how. Who listening again? So anyway, go out to the back door on the patio and cut the patio light off and sneak around up the side gate. He went out this door, but I'm going to the other door because I got to go do something else. Y'all staying here, y'all playing the game, y'all good? And then meet in the back somewhere and cut all the lights out. And yeah, I'm used to it.
The thing that
I'm used to it right now.
The thing I'm confused about, if it's your anniversary night and the neighbors are going to spend the night, why wasn't the children over at the neighbor's house? Why wasn't there something set up for the kids to be off your hands so that Mama and Daddy could have
Wait,
anniversary
no,
fun.
it's the kids. It's the neighbors' kids over here, not the neighbors. The kids. And besides that, I told you he got off work. He worked today. Also didn't let him off. We don't have off until October
Why
16th to the
was there
23rd. That's
no
a Saturday to Saturday. We're
babysitter?
going to
Why
Williamsburg for a vacation, well, honeymoon.
why was there no babysitter set up for the kids on your anniversary?
Well, it's the babysitter, but it's the fact of his job not letting him off because he's also an essential worker. He couldn't get the day off.
You don't need the whole day
He
off.
also works 2 jobs.
This is the night
Huh?
time. I'm talking about Mama and Daddy time in the night.
He works during the daytime, but he works 2 jobs. He's off at nighttime. So at night when everybody's asleep, we're good at nighttime. Like after midnight, we're good after that. Any day.
Okay.
But I was hoping to have like a luncheon or a dinner or something. No, we can't do that right now. But like I said, October 16th, Saturday to the 23rd, I think it is. We'll be in Williamsburg, Virginia, and we have our week to ourselves and stuff.
You said
so.
you're having a honeymoon then, right? So okay.
Yeah, honeymoon. We didn't do our honeymoon because we just got married and all things start happening and whatever. His second job, and not being able to take off and stuff. But
how long you been married? What anniversary is this?
This is 1. This is number 1, number 1.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you made it 1 year. Congratulations, everybody. Wish them a happy anniversary.
That doesn't sound too enthusiastic now. Wait a minute. I need a cheerleader in the background or something. What's going on there? Hold on now.
How you expect me to be more enthusiastic
I ain't see no
about your
pom-poms. Let me go back to my computer. Do I see pom-poms?
How you expect us to be more enthusiastic about your anniversary than you? This is you getting the same energy. Yay! Let's have an hour with some
That's me all the time.
Moscato.
That's me though.
Yay!
My husband would tell you I'm always like I'm very like low key. He'll tell you that. I'm very low key. I get fired up sometimes.
Well,
if I get ticked off, I get fired up. But otherwise, I'm real low key. So that's just me.
Yay! Happy anniversary!
Yay, Tonya! When that man coming back to you?
You know, him and you see, you all don't be having my best interest at heart.
I thought he was fine though.
I mean, it takes more than just.
You know what? On the side note, he seemed a little slick. He seemed a little slick type. You know.
I mean, first of all, the man was probably how old that man was? 25, 22.
Well, like I said, he seemed a little slick. That could be why.
You know what? He's a sweetheart. He's a sweetheart, and we had a lot of fun.
He's a sweetheart, you said?
He's a sweetheart.
I'm sorry, what you say?
He's a sweetheart.
Sweetheart, okay. I heard that.
You know what? I think women need to. I think women, when we start dating with intention, okay, so I'll say this, right? If you are, if you're looking for, let's say you're looking for sugar, right? Which aisle in the grocery store you gonna go down?
The candy aisle, duh.
All right, you could go down the baking aisle. If you're looking for sugar, you could go down the baking aisle, the aisle that has the baking goods. You're not gonna go down the aisle with canned meats. So if a woman
see, in Virginia we have candy aisle.
Okay,
so we go to the candy aisle.
Listen, my point is this: as women, we need to be more. What's the word? God, I can't think of the word. But it's intentional. We need to be more intentional. Intentional. If a woman is ready to get married, why are you going to be going down the aisle of men who are not ready for marriage? That man was not ready for marriage. He's fine and he know how to dance and he looked like he got big dick energy and all of that, but he's not in a position to be getting married. He's not interested in marriage. So we met. I was able to assess very, very early on. Him and I, we would be better as friends rather than me as some big grown ass woman on some goddamn vacation trying to force some man in his 20s to be ready for something he ain't ready for. And then I come back here
and I wonder. You had already peeped it. You already peeped is what you're saying.
I peeped that and anybody who could see that would know that there's an age difference between us because although I may seem young, I know I don't seem like somebody in my damn 20s. I know that for a fact.
No.
Right. So,
but I can tell. But can I tell the difference between you two? That's just like, yeah, he's trying, but he kind of already know you had already clocked him. He already knew that, but he was still trying low key a little bit. I was like, bro, in my mind, I was thinking that ain't gonna work, bro.
So see what I'm saying? You calling up, offering me some lace tangas for a 4-mile run. Get off my line. Don't talk. Enjoy the rest of your anniversary.
What? No.
Enjoy the
Who
rest.
said it was a Tinder? I was just messing with you. I said, let me go pick with her about it. Because I would be a little petty tonight for sure.
I said lace tangas. I already gave the story about what happened when I walked 5 miles in lace tangas. I told you all what happened to the inside of my butt cheeks. So now you offering me some lace tangas.
No, what happened? Tell me again.
You got to rewind and listen to the rest of the broadcast. Go enjoy your anniversary. Go get yourself, read some books and get yourself moist so that you're ready. You over here on the phone with me. Go get yourself some Moscato. Start reading some romance novels and get yourself ready. Bye.
I can't do that till a couple more hours. Yes. Okay. All right.
Those kids take care. I'm sorry. It's 12:45. Them kids need to be asleep. All their asses need to be in bed. It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
Sleepover.
That's why they need to be asleep. Sleepover indicates sleep. Go to bed. Good night, lady.
This is on the verge of Zoom and classes, online classes. So we cutting some slack.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Go get your slack. Go get your slack cut. Good night. That's it. All right. Good night, everyone. Good night. You know, we've been on for 3.5 hours. I can't take any more phone calls now at this point. Otherwise, we're going to be on here. Oh, Lord, there's another call coming in. Should I take this last call or no? We'll try one last. You're on the air live. What is your name? Hello?
Hey, I'm Gina. Can you hear me?
Hey, Gina. Oh, you about to get cut off for just a moment. Thank you for speaking up because it was about to be ending.
Oh, no. I am so happy to be on the line with you. I just want to tell you that you are doing an amazing job. You've come a long way.
Thank you.
And I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Gina.
Yes, and I'd like to, one topic that's close to my heart that I had to explain to my mom recently is sexual abuse with these children. When it comes to men and Black girls and their sexual abuse, it's looked at a certain way. You blame them. You blame the girls. And we had a breakthrough tonight because she understood where I was coming from.
Wow.
Yeah. I told her I compared myself to my mixed race relatives, and I said, had the same thing happened to them that happened to me, the energy would be different. And she agreed. Wow. She agreed.
Oh, wow. I'm so sorry to hear that. So you're saying that your mother wasn't empathetic when you were abused?
Not at all. Nobody in my family was. And it goes way deep. If we could talk offline, it's deep. There's a child resulting in it. And yeah, it's deep. So
how old were you when
I
you
got
were abused?
looked at a certain way.
Were you well, I guess you were already going past puberty, but how old were you when you were abused?
12. Younger than that, but the child resulted at 12.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, goodness. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. This is terrible.
So I love the awareness that you bring to the topic. I love it.
Well, you know what? Thank you for calling in and giving your point of view. I'm sorry that happened to you, and I'm sorry that your mother was not empathetic. I'm happy that you were able to come to an epiphany tonight where maybe, you know, there's the door is open for you two to get therapy, because it sounds like you two need to go into family therapy.
I mean, I've moved on. I have so much on my plate now. I'm actually live in isolation. I don't deal with many of my family at all unless it's an emergency. I'm over it. I made peace, but I just want to make it improvements for the up and coming girls so that they won't have to deal with the same issues that we had. And it makes a difference being a dark-skinned Black girl. It makes a difference on how it's viewed.
And the assailant, what happened to him?
I have no clue. Went into foster care. No clue afterwards.
Oh, okay. You know what? I definitely think that if there's a trauma that significant in that stage of your life, that part of your development, I definitely think that if there has not yet been therapy, that there may be room for therapy, but you have to dig within yourself to see whether or not you feel that there is. And then go from there, because I do believe that we have to trust ourselves. And if you say that you're over it, but if there's any part of you, because sometimes we can suppress things. So if there's any part of you that may not be over it, honor that and do what it is that you need to do. Okay?
Right. But I just wanted to let you know, and I'm proud of so many Black women. It's everything the dots are connecting for us. And hopefully our next generation won't go through the things that we went through and then be ignorant and groomed by the wrong people. Hopefully it changes. So keep on doing what you do, and I support you 2,000%.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. You have a great evening, okay?
Same to you. Thank you for being you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. So this is our longest broadcast ever. I really did not expect for us to go this long. I definitely have to do a better job with controlling the flow of the calls, but we went over so many mountains, valleys, and peaks. Let me start turning my light down. This is how we get when we start doing the TKO after dark. But listen, I appreciate all of you for coming out. Let me give a quick shout out to Chanel, who sent me $20, saying for being beautiful inside and out, informative. Thanks. So thank you, Chanel. I appreciate the $20 Cash App. I appreciate that. If there's anybody who comes to this broadcast and you want to send me a Cash App to help me eat wonderful, nutritious foods, because I use my Cash App to go to the grocery store. And so that's what I use it for. So thank you all for giving the Cash Apps. You help keep me very well fed. So thank you. All right. And so Kelly has been drinking all night. Some of you, you know what? I don't talk about my personal life and relationship. There's a lot of women who use that as fodder for their program, so that they use, what's going on behind the scenes to add validation to what is happening in front of the camera and what it is that they're saying. So I don't talk about what's going on, who I'm aligned with, what's happening in my private life. I don't speak on those things. I let that be a mystery. So I'll just leave it at that. I'll just leave it at that. So no, we're not doing an after dark show. I just wanted to turn down my lights because we've been on here for 3.5 hours. Go ahead and thumbs up the video on your way out. And I'm going to say goodbye to the first 10 to 20 people who say goodnight. All right, so good night, everyone. Good night. Thank you so much for coming through. Thank you for going to Amazon and purchasing the book of Affirmation Self-Love. The link is below. You can also go to my website, TonyaTKO.com, and you can get the book. You can click straight through to get the book on Amazon. You can also become a monthly subscriber to a monthly supporter to my broadcast. And you can also subscribe by going to TonyaTKO.com/subscribe, or just go to TonyaTKO. You can click on support, you can click on subscribe, you can click on the shop and get your free Relax MP3. So good night, everyone. Good night. Let me start saying good night to you all in order. First person up is Kefra. Good night. Good night, Georgette. Good night, Felicia. Good night, Jamaica Hayes. Good night, Lee Harv. Good night, Katarsha. Good night, Lord Beerus. Good night, Gypsy Girl. Good night, Esme. Good night, Rose Pedal. Good night, Tanise. Good night, Key. Good night, BB. Good night, Shark. Welcome. I didn't see you here tonight. Good night, Sincreed. Good night, Harajuku. Good night, 123. Did you all ever have did you all hash it out in the comments? Because Homegirl wanted to hash out. I wanted to know, did you all hash it out? Because I didn't see the hashing happen. Good night, Desiree. Good night, Miss Keeper. Good night, Rose Gold. Good night, Angela. Good night, Wild Honey. Or no, Mild Honey. Good night, everyone. Good night, Cookie Confidant. Good night, Tina Lynch. Good night, Coco Green. Good night, Erica Love. Sassandra, thank you for calling in. Kelly, listen, you were tipsy from the time you got on this broadcast. I saw your earlier comments. Good night, Sin Creed. Good night, Versace. Good night, Cosmic. Oh, Cosmic is not saying good night. Cosmic is having some critiques. I'm doing this on purpose. What? Ain't nothing here on purpose. Everything happens sporadically. You can't make this stuff up. Good night, good night, good night. Good night, Kings. Good night, Tori. Good night, you all. Good night. I said I was only going to do the first 10 or 20, but I went further. I went further because there were so many of you all. All right. Good night, everyone. Thank you all so much for coming through. I'm going to get off. I'm going to put on a face mask, let it harden on my face, and then I'm going to jump inside the shower, take a nice, cool, refreshing shower. And then I'm going to get in bed all minty and tingly and have me a really good night. So good night, everybody. Good night, good night, good night, good night, good night. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for coming through. Thank you for holding this down. Thank you for being with me even in my 6th level vibration energy. So thank you. Thank you for all of the comments and the phone calls. You all make the show. Good night.